After an 0-5 road trip, everybody's been to blame for the Reds, but the bullpen especially. They've blown their last 4 of 7 save opportunities, and the Reds have dropped 12.5 games back. They'll try to make up ground on the first-place Cardinals, who have won 8 of 10 against Cincinnati, using great, at times brilliant defense to help them pile up victories and a 10-game lead in the Central Division. You name it, it's gone right, and they have an MVP candidate in Albert Pujols. Willie Mo Pena's been the Reds' MVP of late. That's home run for him, and he has 15 on the season. Pena in the lineup tonight. Wilson's in the lineup too, the Reds' most reliable starter. That's coming up next on FSN Ohio. Live from Great American Ballpark, FSN Ohio presents Cincinnati Reds baseball. Tonight, it's the Reds against the first-place Cardinals in the Central Division. From Great American Ballpark, it's the first of a 3-game series in Cincinnati. Hi, hello, and welcome to Cincinnati, everybody. Along with the crafty left-hander Chris Fulch, I'm George Grand. Reds against the Redbirds. They played a lot, 13 times in the last 5.5 weeks will be the total after this 3-game series. They are still red hot, and Chris, the Reds are still struggling after an 0-5 road trip, trying to find some answers. Yeah, maybe even struggling more than when they previously met this Cardinal ball club. You've got to play great ball against this Tony La Russa team because they've got no weaknesses. They've got a strong starting rotation, strong bullpen, and they've got the kind of team that can put you away. What are the problems with the Reds? Well, one number that really jumps out at you, the Reds have lost 49 games and have led in 31 of them. That tells you that, yes, they can get a lead. Can they hold the lead? The answer right now, Chris, is no. Oh, you're absolutely right, George. You've got to continue to score runs throughout a ball game to maintain the momentum, and the Reds have been unable to do that. Not only that they've been outscored late in the game means that your bullpen has had meltdowns, and they've had a lot of meltdowns, a lot of those games in which they've blown leads, and those blown leads, of course, lead to a lot of demoralizing losses. You know, part of it is, yes, you can point to the end of the bullpen, but it's been games where the Reds have had bases loaded situations 2 or 3 times early, didn't score enough runs. It's come back to haunt them. Times when starters have had 3 or 4 good innings, then had trouble late in their starting appearance in the 3rd or 4th inning. So the Reds will look for a better start tonight as you take a look at our G pitching matchup. Well, if you want to start a series against the St. Louis Cardinals, you want your best guy out there in the first game, and that is Paul Wilson. He's been the most consistent starter all year. He's 9-2 with a 3.7 earned run average. At home, he's even better. He's 5-1. Woody Williams, well, in 19 starts this year, he's 7-6. This season against the Reds, 1-0. He used to be a Reds killer, but not so much anymore. The Reds are going to have to negotiate his off-speed pitches, though, in order to beat Woody Williams tonight. Woody's been on a roll of late. That's our G pitching matchup for tonight. Coming up, can we avoid the rain? Can the Reds get a W? We'll find out next on FSN Ohio.
Looking for the hottest ticket in town? Think fast. Think Kentucky Speedway. Feel the power at over 200 miles per hour. Feel the excitement inches from the wall. Racing's fastest series, the 220-mile-per-hour IndyCar Series, Sunday, August 15th for the Belterra Casino Indy 300. Catch the side-by-side open-wheel Indy excitement at over 220 miles per hour. Get your tickets now at 888-652-RACE, online at KentuckySpeedway.com or at all Meijer stores. Kentucky Speedway. There's more in 04.
Attention all taste buds, this is your wake-up call. Introducing Arby's new Market Fresh Chicken Salad. It's a delicious twist on ordinary chicken salad with all white meat chicken, fresh diced apples, grapes, celery, and toasted pecans. And now you get to choose how you want it served, as a sandwich, in a wrap, or in a bowl. Whichever way you prefer. Arby's new Market Fresh Chicken Salad. One great chicken salad, 3 ways to enjoy it.
Don't wait another minute for your John Deere. Just wait until next year to pay for it. Time is running out to get a John Deere and pay absolutely nothing until July 2005. That's 0 money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments until July 2005. So what are you waiting for? Hurry into your local John Deere dealer today, because a deal this good will be gone before you know it.
Cincinnati Reds baseball on FSN Ohio is being brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. By your local Chrysler and Jeep dealers. By the Ohio Lottery. The Ohio Lottery's Pick 3 Red Ball promotion is back. Now through August 28th, odds are you'll have some fun. By your local Dodge dealers. Grab life by the horns. And by Skyline Chili. Game time or anytime when you're feeling good and hungry. Hey, it's Skyline time. Skyline Chili, the official chili of the Cincinnati Reds.
On this episode of Chris's Clubhouse, we visit with a Cardinal hitting coach, Mitchell Page. And Mitchell, I've got a question to ask you. You bring over a guy like Scott Rolen, already a bona fide hitter, Jim Edmonds, bona fide hitter, but they seem to come over to the Cardinal way of doing things and get better and better. How do you do that?
Well, we do it because we start for spring training, number one. And for last spring, no, 2 years of spring, for this coming spring, I told Tony, Scott Rolen is going to have a big year. Now, you asked him that. I told him he's going to have a big year for you because what he brought back from the table from the first year over here, no, the second year, I say he's going to have a big year for you. He's having a big year. And then you got Tony Womack. He got the Page philosophy. He got the Cardinal philosophy. You know, the thing that make us go over here is that, you know, most ball clubs, you live by the home run, and you can die by the home run. We had 3 games in a row. We got 12 singles, 15 singles, and we won the ball game. All right, and then 2 days later, we turn around. We had Pujols hit 3 home runs. Rolen hit a home run. Jimmy's on fire right now. So we don't live by the home run. We live by good, solid at-bats over here. Good at-bats, wear the pitcher down, and then we take our licks.
Hey, now you've heard it. That's the secret, the Mitchell Page philosophy and the Cardinal secret, how to get it done without the home run and sometimes with the home run as well. Thank you, Mitchell Page, for joining us on Chris's Clubhouse. Hey, stay with us. George is next. He's got lineup in action when we return on FSN Ohio.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner and proud spokesman for the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. Each year, Wendy's and Fox Sports Net team up to find the best high school juniors and seniors who have displayed remarkable talent in athletics, academics, and community service. Please join me in recognizing these students by contacting your school principal, guidance counselor, or athletic director. The Wendy's High School Heisman competition will be here before you know it. So get that special student nominated today.
Approachable,
loyal,
faithful,
trustworthy,
objective, committed.
These are just a few of the leadership qualities that teens look for from their peers. At Teen Life Coalition, we work with local high school students to build not only awareness, but respect and understanding for the sanctity of human life.
We here at JTM know that the key to success is service to others. JTM Food Group, where service is success.
Only one full-size pickup is engineered with automatic rear locking differential. And it's not the new Ford F-150. It's the GMC Sierra. It puts more traction where you need it. Get a specially equipped Sierra half-ton extended cab 4x4 with option packages and get a $2,500 discount. Add the discount to cash back for a total value of $6,500. Upgrade to professional grade. Summer Drive, only at your tri-state GMC dealers.
Welcome back to Great American Ballpark. George Grant and Chris Welch, and our congratulations to our Lion Video crew and everyone here at the ballpark. Our guys for getting everything together ready for tonight's ball game in spite of an accident that occurred with the truck on its way to the ballpark today, and they did yeoman work. Truck's okay, and everyone involved in the accident generally okay. And good job, guys, to get us on the air tonight. Maybe for a Reds win for a change after going 0-5 in the road trip. Doesn't get any easier as we check our Chevrolet starting lineup against the first-place Cardinals. Albert Pujols in July on fire. And you know he's always on fire against the Reds, near 400 for his career. Anderson, Renteria, Pujols, then Rolen in the 4th spot. Jimmy Edmonds, Reggie Sanders, John Mabry, Mike Matheny, and Woody Williams, pretty good hitting pitcher, in the 9th spot. That is your Chevrolet starting lineup. You got one guy to go against him, Chris. You give this guy the ball because he's been the Reds' best starter.
Now, right after the All-Star break, Dave Miley had a decision to make as to how to set up the starting rotation to get it right so he could put Paul Wilson in there as many times as he could against the Cubs and then against the St. Louis Cardinals. He did that by having Wilson pitch the first game in Chicago and now have the first game here against the St. Louis Cardinals at Great American Ballpark. 19 times he's been on the mound. He's fashioned a 9-2 record with a 3.7 earned run average. He's got pretty good control. What's our Pontiac scouting report say about him? Well, he's faster than you think and he's slower than you think, meaning his changeup is a bit slower, his fastball just a bit faster than what he really looks like he is out there. That's one reason for his success this year. He uses both sides of the plate very well and he comes prepared. He knows the scouting report and he's willing to pitch right to it. And Dave Miley very happy to have his ace on the staff out there against the Cardinals tonight.
Miley peers out at his club, and let's check Dave Miley's for defensive alignment. Barry Larkin still on the sidelines with that pull muscle in his side. No DL for him, but still not in the lineup today. So Castro will be a starting shortstop. Friel, Castro, Jimenez, Casey across the infield. Juan's 18th start at short, only 2 errors and 96 chances there. The outfield done. William Opeña and Vanderwall. Ken Griffey Jr. did take batting practice before the game today. Is not in the lineup as well. Austin Kearns, the left side of your screen, next to Barry Larkin. Kearns also has started to take BP too, but still no imminent return for either of those two, and Barry Larkin's still a big question mark around him. Here's Junior taking some BP earlier. They had hoped he'd do some work in the field though, but it rained intermittently this afternoon, so he just took BP and that's it. Good news though, he is getting closer, getting better, and that'll be even better news when he's in the lineup for the Reds. He is eligible to come off the disabled list this week. Here's Marlon Anderson, who's in at 250, 6 homers, 22 knocked in. He gets the start at second base today. Tony Womack the day off. One of the blessings of this Cardinal team in this first 100 games of the year has been they've alternated a lot of people. All of them have played well and paid dividends for Tony La Russa. This one banged foul past Dave McKay, the first base coach, and as usual down at third, Jose Cheo Oquindo down at third. And there is Tony La Russa, the manager of this Cardinals team. He's got him perched in first place by 10 games at the start of play today, 12.5 ahead of the Reds. That's up high to Marlon Anderson. Cardinals and La Russa's crew have won 8 of 10 against Cincinnati. And Chris, you run into years like that where a team has another team's number, but for the Cardinals, they've had everybody's number this year.
Well, they have had lately anyway. Early in the year, they didn't get off to a terrific start. They played 500 baseball through middle of May, and then all of a sudden, that's when they really caught fire, separated themselves from the rest of the division during the interleague play, where they went 11-1, and then they really hammered the opposition ever since. And included in that opposition, there have been a lot of games against the Reds.
Russa's team 62-36. There's a liner. Jimenez has it in the air. Bruce Fleming said, yep, that's an out. D'Angelo has been brilliant. Only a couple of errors this year at second. He's been the best defensive second baseman statistically in the National League this year. D'Angelo snares that one. There is one away. Another look at a bullet off the bat of Marlon.
Now, the good news and bad news if you're Paul Wilson. Good news is you got that first batter out. Second news is not so good. You're not exactly popping him up right now. Too many pitches to that at bat. Good job by Anderson. Wilson would like to get through these hitters more efficiently than throwing 5 or 6 pitches each time a guy comes to the plate.
And in that 7-pitch at bat, Chris, the other thing that you didn't like what you saw, a lot of pitches up for Paul.
Sometimes that's just a matter of adjustment. Lucky to get a guy out when you throw the ball up like that. Now you recognize that, and Wilson, of course, is a veteran pitcher. He knows what he has to do. He'll say, you know what, I am getting the ball up. I've got to concentrate on the knees and lower. Got to live down around there to get that grounder.
There's Edgar Renteria, the shortstop, at 289, bounced off Wilson's foot, pops up in the air. Does he get him? Yes. How about that? Paul Wilson, great presence. You've been there, Chris, when something like this happens. You don't know where the ball is. Boy, did he locate it fast.
That's because everybody in the infield's yelling, there, there, there. And that's why you look around, you can't figure out where it is. If it's not on the ground, it's got to be in the air. Right off the shoe of Paul Wilson. Looks around, not on the ground. There it is. Bare hand grab out at first base. We saw Phil Norton make a play like that earlier in the year. We've got two of them here. Nice little defense so far shown by Paul Wilson and the Reds.
In Norton's case, he was facing first base as a left-hander. It was easier for him to make the throw. Not only did Wilson have to find the ball, then he had to pivot. Nick Kenny went out to check on him. Wilson said, I'm okay. It looked like it hit the dirt, then his foot, then popped up. So it looked like he took the brunt of it on the foot. Good news for the Reds on both sides of it. So 2 away, and here is that man Albert again. 324, 28, 72 against the Reds, over 400. Career-wise here, nearly 400. D'Angelo has it. The flip to first. Got him. 2 ground balls and a line drive out. Wilson says, thank you very much. 3 up, 3 down. Friel, Castro, and Casey when we return.
Totally NASCAR, the only source that puts the racing fan in tune with what's happening on and around the track. With expert analysis, racing insights, and the latest reports from the winner's circle. Your all-access pass to everything that is NASCAR. Totally NASCAR. Weeknights on FSN.
A half hour before every Reds game, catch Real Reds on Fox Sports Net. It's in-depth interviews that'll take you way beyond the sports page, expert analysis from the press box, and you'll learn the keys to the game. A half hour before every Reds game, watch Real Reds, presented by Countrywide Home Loans, only on Fox Sports Net.
Now, when you buy 3 or more medium one-topping pizzas from Domino's, you get them for just $5 each. That means pepperoni guy, mushroom guy, and sausage guy can each get their own pizza for just $5. Hey, who invited I'll pay you tomorrow guy?
Big news from Domino's. It's the 5-5-5 deal. Call now and buy 3 or more medium one-topping pizzas and pay just $5 each. Get the door. It's the 5-5-5 deal from Domino's.
Let's check your Chevrolet starting lineup for Dave Miley and the Cincinnati Reds, who are trying to bounce back after an 0-5 road trip. Ryan Friel will lead it off. Juan Castro in at short for Larkin, bat second. Casey will hit in the 3rd spot. Adam Dunn closing in on 100 career homers in left. Jimenez the switch hitter. Peña's been red hot. Vanderwall. Then how about Jason LaRue? An 11-game hitting streak for Jason. He'll hit in the 8th spot ahead of Paul Wilson. During that stretch, he's hit .415, and LaRue's got his average up to .255. That is your Chevrolet starting lineup. And here's tonight's starter for the Cardinals. Boy, has he been hot.
He really has been hot. He's won 4 straight decisions since June the 13th. He's 4-0 with an earned run average of 2.3 overall. He is 7-6. Woody Williams is a guy that was set behind a little bit in spring training when he was injured. Didn't do any extra work down there as far as extended spring, but came right into the season and didn't get off to a great start, but here he is right in the middle of things now. Our Pontiac scouting report on this right-hander, he sinks everything. He's got a good curveball, changes speeds on it, and no slouch at the plate either. Brings to the plate a 200-plus batting average.
Here's Ryan Friel, who's been no slouch himself. Pops this one up. It'll be in the Reds dugout and out of play. Friel scored a couple of runs on Sunday. He continues to do a great job of getting on base at the top of the Reds order. The Reds just left Pittsburgh, where Jason Kendall is #1 in the leadoff position and on-base percentage at .401. Friel is 2nd in the league at .388. And that's a pretty good spot for this young man to be. He's been the Reds' trigger at the top of the order. And by the way, those of you that are familiar with the road trip, you know that among the things we've talked about already, Jason Romano did pull his hamstring. In fact, there's a pop toward short. Renteria there. He's got it. 1 away. Friel is retired. Romano will be operated on tomorrow for a torn hamstring. He is out for the year. It's a season-ending surgery as the hamstring was pulled from the bone, so it'll be a longer rehab for Jason Romano. We wish him the best of luck because, Chris, he worked so hard, and you know, he really The injury first occurred down at AAA, and it bothered him through AAA, but he wanted to play through. He thought he could help this ball club when he came up, and he gave it everything he could. But like Ken Griffey Jr., he succumbs to the hamstring injury.
Well, he was on the disabled list down there until July the 4th, so he didn't have all that much time to come back before he was activated by the Reds. And here's a guy that really makes his best baseball living with his speed, so it'll be very important for him to take his time to come back. Good kid, hard worker. Wish the best for Jason.
And we wish him best as he undergoes surgery tomorrow for the hamstring injury. Here's Juan Castro in a 262, a homer and 11 knocked in. He's in for Barry Larkin. Dr. Kremchek did examine Barry Larkin just before the game today, and said if everything goes in continued fashion, he will be cleared tomorrow at the earliest to take some swings, but he's still probably a few days away from getting back in the lineup. And if he does not show more immediate recovery, it still is a possibility that he might be placed on the disabled list with a pull muscle in his side. Castro knows what that's like because he's been there before. D'Angelo Jimenez has too. And the other examination that took place before the game was Ken Griffey Jr., and Dr. Kremchek said they've cleared him to do more aggressive work on the field prior to ball game. So he's still a few days away from coming back. Hopefully the progress will continue, and hopefully the injured list won't get longer. It'll get shorter. Austin Kearns continues to start to swing the bat. It'll be a while before he gets back. That's inside to Castro. Reds get a walk and a base runner, and here comes Sean Casey. Here's your forward defensive alignment for the Cardinals. Cardinals give you Gold Glove defense at third, at short, behind the plate, and in center. But don't forget Reggie Sanders. He'll at times be spectacular in the outfield too. The former Red will be playing right. His 73rd start of the season. 3 errors, 4 assists from right field. Edmonds 6 Gold Gloves. Renteria, Rolen, Matheny all Gold Glovers as well. And Pujols, much improved and outstanding defender down at first for the St. Louis Cardinals. That's your forward defensive alignment. Here's Casey, 342, 16 homers, 61 knocked in. Case had all kinds of trouble hitting at the old ballpark, Three Rivers Stadium, which really was his home stadium, but since he moved into the new park, he has been a force for the Reds. Had another homer to give the Reds an early lead at Pittsburgh. But once again, Chris, the whole story of the Pittsburgh trip and really of the road trip was getting leads and losing them. Casey sends it to left center. In the air, it'll go one hop to the wall. Here comes Castro around third. Barry will send him. Casey will go into second. Castro scores. The Reds lead it 1-0. And the 3-time All-Star gets the Reds on top early with his 31st double. The Reds lead it 1-0.
Well, you try to take advantage of whatever home field advantage there is. Not a huge crowd here at Great American Ballpark. You got to get them excited, and you have to take the game right to the Cardinals, because if you wait around and just try to play them even, they will find a way to beat you. Sean Casey, a shot into the left center gap right there. Goes by the outfielders, one hops the wall, and by the time that John Mabry can retrieve it, he's on second. Castro, who earned a base with the base on balls, comes around to score. So it doesn't take long for a Woody Williams walk to hurt him.
Usually it's the walks have been hurting the Reds, but here the Reds take advantage of one. Here's Dunn, 26 homers and 58 knocked in for Adam. He's one shy of his career high in homers of 27. He set that back in 2003 against the Cards. 1 homer this year and an average of 200. They pitched him very well. That's on the outside corner for a strike. That's Mike Winters, who's your home plate umpire today. Tim Timmons is down at first. The crew chief is Bruce Fremming. He's at second. And Hunter Wendelstadt is at third. This is the same umpiring crew that was in the Crusade, the ball war up in Boston this weekend between the Yankees and the Red Sox.
They were referees in that, in that game, not umpires.
They were so glad to get to Cincinnati this morning for 2 reasons. First, there were fights and everything else that happened there. And secondly, each game went about 3.5 or more, 4 hours or more. And they came in bleary-eyed today. And of course, the Democratic National Convention taking place in Boston, they needed a police escort to get to the airport on time to get to Cincinnati. So this veteran crew here in Cincinnati for the 3-game series, and there is Bruce Fremming.
Don't want to get in his way.
Especially when he leaves the game tonight and goes to the hitching post for dinner afterwards. Dunn dribbles one to second with 1 out. That'll get the runner to third. Dunn's retired. And here comes D'Angelo. Casey sitting at third after the double and the ground out. Our storylines for tonight: stop the skid, the 5-game losing streak we're talking about, and can you cool the Cardinals off? Cardinals lost 2 of 3 to San Francisco, first series loss since they were swept by the Buccos back in June, and the Reds know what that's like because the Reds were just swept by Pittsburgh. What happened in Pittsburgh? I leave you to go to Cooperstown. I say just win a couple of games. What did you do?
Hey, you had the same color guy. We just changed the play-by-play guy. I guess I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. Pittsburgh's playing outstanding baseball. That good, hard-throwing pitching staff finally beginning to show what they can do.
The Pittsburgh contingent, led by Bill Mazeroski, kept egging us on all weekend long. We're beating the pants off you guys. Here's D'Angelo, 264, 6 homers, 35 knocked in, popped out foul. And the Reds contingent, a big one. Sparky Anderson was there in Cooperstown. Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, Tom Seaver. And go down the list. Everybody was there, and they're all asking, what's the problem? And well, I don't say they're all asking. Most of the guys know. They knew it would start with pitching and end with pitching, and it's finally caught up to the Reds here in the month of July.
So it really wasn't those throwback uniforms that only worked for those 70s teams and not necessarily 2014.
I like the Reds throwbacks, but the Pirates were ugly, huh?
They were just as ugly now as they were then.
Yep. Man, thanks to Dan Horde for sitting in while we were in Cooperstown. And boy, we had some messages for you. Your old coach Robin Roberts said to say hi. Said, how's Chris doing? He said, I haven't seen you guys since last summer. Now, does Chris have 3 more kids since last summer? I said, no, we're still sitting on 5 and happy with that. And Chris and Debbie are happy with the 5 they have. Hit pretty good to right. Did he get enough? It's curving towards the corner. It's going back. It's going to be gone. It just hooked the foul, stayed fair, and D'Angelo has his 7th of the year. You're going to get Woody. You got to get him early, and the Reds have put some on the board here.
The Cardinals pride themselves in is keeping the ball in the ballpark when they pitch. Woody Williams, just the 11th home run given up by him on the season, and D'Angelo Jimenez. He doesn't collect too many, just number 7 for D'Angelo, but that's huge.
D'Angelo continues his red-hot streak. 3-0 Cincinnati after the homer number 7 for Jimenez. And here's Willie Moe talking about hot. Willie Moe had a homer in Pittsburgh, his 15th of the year. And while the Reds contingent in Cooperstown was talking about where the team is, the Yankee contingent was talking about 2 guys, Willie Moe Pena. We wish we had him back, meaning Yogi Berra, Whitey Ford, Reggie Jackson, and crew, Phil Rizzuto. And they also said they kept asking about Brandon Clausen, especially Whitey Ford. Reggie Jackson and Willie Moe really built up a great friendship when Willie Moe was in the minor league camp and then the major league camp with the Reds, with the Yankees. And Reggie's sent a message to Willie that was delivered before the game today. Willie Moe drops the bat. He'll pick up a glove. So will D'Angelo. His homer has given the Reds a 3-0 lead.
Want more of a reason to get away this summer? Then get more at the Chrysler Summer Sales Drive, where we're celebrating Chrysler Financial's 40th anniversary with a $1,000 bonus for up to $5,000 in combined cash allowances on select Chryslers, including Pacifica, Town & Country, and PT Cruiser. Plus, through August 2nd, make no monthly payments till 2005. Want more? Get more. See your Chrysler dealer by August 2nd and make no payments till 2005 during Chrysler Financial's 40th anniversary celebration.
You know that little red ball from way back when? Well, the lottery's bringing him back again. He's coming to town and he's bringing his friends. Just 7 little balls. That's where it begins. Now this is big news that's sure to please. Red ball's popping up a lot, you see, so there's more cash for you and me. All you gotta do is pick the right 3.
The Ohio Lottery's Red Ball is back. Now when you win, the Red Ball could win you more.
Yeah, Red Ball's back. You can really score. Play the Pick 3 game that wins you more.
Want more adventure this summer? Get more. You'll find it at the Jeep Summer Sales Drive, where we're celebrating Chrysler Financial's 40th anniversary with $1,000 in bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of up to $4,500 on Grand Cherokee, Liberty, or Wrangler. Plus, through August 2nd, make no monthly payments until 2005. Nothing is more fun than summer in a Jeep vehicle. Want more? Get more. See your Jeep dealer by August 2nd during the Chrysler Financial 40th anniversary celebration.
Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again? Are you from Memphis? Because you're the only 10 I see. So, can I buy you a drink? Or would you rather have the cash?
Okay. You got to the count of 3 to take your bid. That works.
Don't make it the usual. Make it Mike's Hard Lemonade. Hardly the usual.
Time for our Rico home run replay. Here's a 355-foot look at it, Chris.
Now, these are the kind of home runs that D'Angelo Jimenez is not watching it because he wants to show up the pitcher. He wants to be on that baseline to see if it's going to stay fair or hook foul. Same with Woody Williams. He sees the fair call by the first base umpire, and that ball was high, and it carried a long way, and it had a little bit of hook on it. D'Angelo was just wondering, is it or is it not?
And it wasn't fair by much, but that 355-foot homer gives the Reds a lead, 3-0. Here's Rolen. No balls, 2 strikes. Scott in at 327, 20 homers of his own, 88 knocked in. A couple of infield hits on Saturday, picking up his 87th run batted in. Tied for second in the majors now with 88 runs batted in. Tejada and Ortiz of Baltimore and Boston have had a red hot week. They've taken over the leadership. In between hitting people, Ortiz has hit some baseballs too.
Well, if you believe in momentum, this is the big inning for the Reds and Paul Wilson. You go out and strike, get 3 quick runs. You want to come back out there and get back into the dugout as quickly as possible.
There's a bullet into the corner. Rolen rounds first, heads to second. He'll chug in with his 22nd double of the year. He's sitting on second, and here comes Jim Edmonds, a nemesis to the Reds. Hey, the Sports List is the new show that counts down the 10 best and worst of everything and anything in sports. Tomorrow, find out what were the 10 biggest chokes in sports history. The Sports List with host Summer Sanders tomorrow at 5, only on FSN Ohio. We'll ask you for your list later. Wilson's got a runner in scoring position. Rolen sitting at second, and here comes Jim Edmonds. Edmonds has beaten the Reds with his glove, his bat, any other way you might imagine. He steps in at 283, 24 homers and 64 knocked in. Hop back and out of play. And when we got to Cooperstown, Chris, you know, this is the anniversary. 1954 was the anniversary of the catch, Willie Mays' great catch of Vic Wertz. And everyone was talking about that. But, I mean, to a man, the Hall of Famers were talking about the catch that Edmonds made off Jason LaRue.
I don't think they get any better than that.
No. It's the greatest one we've seen by a center fielder. I didn't see Willie Mays' in person, but seeing it in person, it's the top of the list. Talking about the Sports List, if you're making a list of catches, that's got to be on it.
You know, if it's the only one he ever made, then you could almost write it off to part luck. But the fact that he regularly robs home runs and makes miracle type plays in the outfield, it just makes it even better.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Wilson was ahead of Rolen 0-2, and then Rolen ripped the 2-base hit. With runners in scoring position, Daddy Wags is on the case tonight. The Cardinals are 275, second best in the National League. Who's first? The team we just played, the Pirates, and boy, did they cash in some runners in scoring position hits against the Reds. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yes, missing. Good folks from Domino's come up with another great special for Reds fans. Call Domino's now for the 5-5-5 deal. Enjoy 3 medium 1-topping pizzas for as little as $5 each from Domino's. Missing again wide. And we'll go full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chris, you said it. The Cardinals are playing better than anybody, but hey, how about the Pirates? Boy, they bounced back and they're showing some flashes, huh?
You know, I've known all along, George, that it was a matter of time until that pitching staff, and they've got 4 guys in that starting rotation that throw 94 or faster. Until the young staff are started to come around. It's exactly what you're seeing out there. And even when they do, and it is when and not if they trade Chris Benson, they still have a very fine pitching staff. They tell me that they're loaded at the AA and AAA level with pitching, so it's just going to get tougher and tougher every time ball clubs go in to play the Pirates.
3-2 to Edmonds. LaRue sets up wide again. Edmonds sends it to center. Back is Willie Moe to the wall. He can't get it. Rolen had to hold, and they'll hold him at third. Edmonds will have a double, his 28th double of the year. Edmonds saw Pena close in on it, and Willie Moe had a chance to catch it, so Edmonds could not go. So he'll end up at third, Edmonds at second, and here's a look at it.
You know, you figure with all the advancement that Willie Moe has made as a hitter, the same thing would go as a fielder, but that's not the case. He just has not that many innings in at the major league level, and he plays center field, and here he is trying to go back on this ball, gauge where the fence is. That ball just carries too far for him. He'll go up against the wall and hold him to a double. Not a good sign so far, though, when you're talking about Paul Wilson. 2 balls hit very sharply in the first inning, 2 balls hit very sharply here in the second inning. Second and third, nobody out.
And here comes Reggie. Sanders 3 for 10 against Wilson in his career. Steps in with that .255 average, the 16 homers and the 48 knocked in. Reds have pitched him pretty well in this 2004 season. Last year he ate up the Reds, beginning with the first game here at Great American Ballpark.
You know, one more comment about that Pittsburgh pitching staff, George. The thing that I find most impressive, they lead the league in the least number of home runs given up with 81. The Reds are the second worst with 128. And that is a 47 home run difference between the 2 pitching staffs, and nothing like a home run to change the momentum of a ball game.
Keep the ball in the ballpark, and the Buccos have been doing that. Reggie's numbers. Right versus left, facing Wilson, the right-hander, today. 1 ball, 1 strike. He got under it a bit. Tagging at third will be Rolen. Dunn is under it. He'll make the catch. The throw coming all the way to the plate will be cut by Casey. The run will score, and Edmonds, who tagged at second, will head back. So a sacrifice fly from Sanders. He'll pick up his 49th run batted in of the year. Dunn's throw, fortunately to the cutoff man. If he does not hit Casey, Edmonds would have kept going.
Well, that's why Casey's there, and you know what may have been the play is if Casey cuts that ball off, and even if it was on line, you're going to cut the ball off because chances are you're not throwing out Rolen, but you may get Jim Edmonds snapping at second base. Not likely, but there's always a chance, so you might as well take a shot at it.
Edmonds checks the outfielders behind him, and here comes John Mabry. Mabry got the average up to 299. 6 homers on the year and 23 knocked in for the once a Cardinal, then a Cardinal again. Had 3 hits yesterday and a start at first base, and that 6th homer of the year came in the game yesterday. And Sparky Anderson made a great comment in Cooperstown, saying that the most pressure he ever felt was when he started 35-5 20 years ago, 1984, for the Tigers. The pressure was, don't blow it. Don't lose the lead. You know, if you lose it, they're going to blame it on you, the manager. And that's the same kind of pressure that's on Tony La Russa right now. You have this kind of a lead this late in the season.
Yeah, but in order to build a lead like that, you have to have some solid players. He's got some horses on this ball club. Not only that, Walt Jocketty has given him a very fine bench, and their pitching, which was suspect when they started the year, at least everybody outside the Cardinal organization didn't think they would succeed the way they have, has continued to be very strong. And then it almost gets to be like you feed on your previous success. The Cardinals just want more and more. I don't get the feeling talking to these guys or observing them that they're satisfied with where they are. They want to be better and better. They want to put everybody away, not just the teams in their division.
There is a killer instinct, and every good club has that. There is Tony La Russa. La Russa, of course, the manager of Dennis Eckersley, and Eckersley, I mean, very, very, very evident was his praise of Tony and Dave Duncan. He made it clear that Tony La Russa helped him turn his career around, not just on the field, but the support that he gave him off the field too. And he credited La Russa and Duncan with his ascension to the lofty levels that he acquired on the field, and for his election and induction to the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. 3-2, 1 out. Mabry drills it foul. Now, the one question that I was interested to ask if I had gone to Pittsburgh was find out really when and where will Chris Benson go, and I'm sure you talked to folks about that. What's the feeling in Pittsburgh?
Well, he's gone.
Yeah.
And I guess it really matters in talking to Dave Littlefield. It was whoever's got the best package out there, and you know, of course, he's not going to reveal to us who they're looking at or else, but essentially they know that he's being traded. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, and they don't want just draft picks in return.
What we hear is that they want at least one major league player and a top prospect too for Benson, who will be a free agent next year. It's funny, you spend, I don't know, $13-14 million. That's what they spend on Benson, and
not including medical costs and rehabs.
And now he's just coming into his own. Here's the 3-2 again, slap foul. Mabry spoils another pitch. 33 pitches by Wilson already in these first 2 innings. And these are the at-bats that we talk so often with Paul Wilson about, Chris, that the 10, 12, 13 pitch at-bats that wind up costing him an inning or two late in the game.
And usually that inning or two results in the loss of perhaps a win.
You got him. Strikeout number 1 for Wilson at the right time.
The fewer innings that you allow your bullpen to come in for you, especially when you turn over to middle relief, the more chance you have of somebody blowing a save for you. And he just finally rears back and sneaks one right by John Mabry.
And Paul Wilson is Mr. BS. Blown save, that is.
Yeah, he really he could be 13 or 14 wins right now instead of the 9-2 record he has. 5
blown saves have occurred in games that he left. Mike Matheny up. You had a questionable look on your face when I said BS.
Well, some other names actually came to mind before Paul Wilson in that category.
The two of us excluded. Here's a ball 1 to Matheny. That's a strike. Yes, the Cardinals are in great shape right now. The Reds have some questions. You know, we talk about Chris Benson, and I mean, every place I go, the questions are, will Paul Wilson be here after the 31st of July? He's not signed for next year. There's certainly been teams that have inquired. He's been the best the Reds have, and you wonder, Chris, if yes, it's a youth movement, but you have to sprinkle in some veterans with that youth movement, and you couldn't think of a guy who'd be more valuable than a Paul Wilson heading into next year with some more young pitchers.
You're right. You know, you've got to have somebody to be a leader in the infield, a leader in the pitching staff, a leader in the bullpen, and Wilson, one of the leaders on the ball club. The way he handles himself, the way he goes about his business, prepares. And I think finally what you're seeing is a result of Paul Wilson's hard work, preparation, coming back and becoming a different type of pitcher than he was when he first came up. We talk about that all the time. Scouts in the stands right now.
2 balls, 2 strikes. You saw Wilson's reaction. Boy, did he want that pitch. Didn't get it, but he gets a pop up on the next one. The 2-2 delivery, sky to center. Willie Moe's got it. Could have been worse. Back-to-back double, sacrifice fly from Reggie. It's a 3-1 ball game. We head to the of 2. Vanderwall.
Now when you buy 3 or more medium 1-topping pizzas from Domino's, you get them for just $5 each. That means pepperoni guy, mushroom guy, and sausage guy can each get their own pizza for just $5. Hey, who invited I'll pay you tomorrow guy?
Big news from Domino's. It's the 5-5-5 deal. Call now and buy 3 or more medium 1-topping pizzas and pay just $5 each. Get the door. It's the 5-5-5 deal from Domino's.
The all-new Dodge Durango. 7 inches longer. An even smoother ride. A big 335 horsepower Hemi V8. Does size matter? better believe it.
Want more? Get more at the Summer Sales Drive. Grab a Durango and $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of $4,500.
Hey, there are lots of shave gels, and they're all full of soap. And soap can leave your skin dry and irritated. Introducing Gillette Complete Multi-Gel, the only shave gel without soap, so it won't dry out your skin. Closeness, comfort, and skincare in one shave gel. Healthy-looking, smoother-feeling skin in 14 days or your money back. This is more than shave gel. This is skincare for a man. Gillette Complete Multi-Gel, the best a man can get.
Cincinnati Reds baseball on FSN Ohio is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Get the feeling Toyota. By Domino's. Call Domino's now. Enjoy their new 5-5-5 deal. 3 medium single topping pizzas for as little as $5 each. By Crown Royal. Enjoy its smooth taste with friends tonight. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Reds have gotten 3 runs early off Woody Williams, and that's kind of the story that Woody's gone by this year. First inning, opponent's batting average over 300, an ERA of over 8. But from there on, Chris, he settles down, takes control.
You know, you're going to have a higher batting or higher earned run average by a lot because you only have 1 inning from choose, all your numbers. But it just goes to show you so many veteran pitchers are like, no matter how you prepare in the bullpen, it's still tough to get it going in the game. And if you give up a couple of runs early on, you're usually going to tell yourself, if you're a veteran that's been around, okay, now I'm really going to knuckle down here, and they're not going to get any more from me. And that's the way Woody Williams is. That's the way a lot of veteran pitchers are. That's why it's so important to put that big 3 spot on the board in the first.
In fact, last year, that was one of the big bugaboos Paul Wilson had to deal with. His ERA was 14 in the first inning for the first 2/3 of the season.
And you wrestle with it. You wonder, okay, what can I do different? Well, I'll warm up more, or I'll warm up less, or I'll jog a little bit down there, or I'll drink 2 cups of coffee instead of 1, whatever it takes, and you're just really never sure. Most of the time it's mental, sometimes it's bad luck, but Paul Wilson, nearly 40 pitches after the first couple of innings, got to figure out a way to be a little more efficient, and maybe hope for his team to get some more runs.
Those of you at home that have never met Paul Wilson, never seen him in person, all you have to do is just watch his demeanor in the clubhouse. Right there, you see him on the bench or on the mound, and you get an idea of what he is. I mean, he is what he is. I mean, he's not different than what you see right there. Calm, cool, collected, dedicated, always got an eye on what's happening, whether it's on the field, during a game, in the clubhouse. His eyes are surveying the situation. He's a mental pitcher, not just a physical pitcher. And boy, has he battled a long way back from those early days in New York where he was a fireballing right-hander. Now he is one fine pitcher. Doesn't throw 95 anymore, but his heart still beats 95.
Well, he has so far this year kept his team in the game consistently, really as much as you can expect. He's had a lot of runs in support. He's had some poor bullpen efforts behind him when leaving ball games, but for the most part, every time you send him out to the mound, he's kept your team in the game, and that's really all you really can expect to get out of a starting pitcher who is not named Randy Johnson or Kurt Schilling or Pedro Martinez or one of these real true to life stoppers that you have, and there aren't that many of them around.
Hoping for John Vanderwall to get the Reds rolling. Vanderwall trying to stretch out an at bat here too. Here's pitch number 8 from Woody Williams, the leadoff batter, and that's a call, strike 3. That's the pitch that Wilson thought he had. Didn't get it, but Vanderwall gets punched out on it. That's strikeout number 1 for Woody Williams. Here comes LaRue in his 11-game hitting streak. Hey, the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum is the ultimate baseball experience for every Reds fan. Veteran fans can relive games at Crosley Field and reminisce with the Big Red Machine. Visit the interactive booths for games dedicated to fans of all ages, including tips from Larkin, Browning, Bench, Casey, and a whole lot more. Bring your glove and memories to the Reds Hall of Fame, opening September 25th. For complete details and membership information, visit CincinnatiReds.com. The Reds have the greatest history in the game of baseball for a team, and some of that history is currently up in Cooperstown, and some of it will be coming here. Not necessarily just this year, but they'll be bringing artifacts from Cooperstown down periodically to be showcased at Great American Ballpark and in the Reds Museum. This year, of course, has produced its own share of mementos. Ken Griffey Jr.'s 500th career homer. They'll have his batting gloves there and other mementos from Jr.'s career. It's going to be special. Hope you get down to see it. September, October, and every month thereafter. 0-2 to LaRue. Breaking ball down and away. And 5 road trip with the Reds down. No. Frustrated? Yes. They realize that their chances are slipping away. Not necessarily in the Central Division where they're 12.5 back, but for the wild card where they're 4.5 back to start. And that's the key. I mean, the good news about the wild card is that the Reds are still in a pennant race. They still have a chance to make it to the postseason. They played their worst baseball, and they're still 4.5 out of a chance to be in the postseason.
Hey, you have to figure that this ball club, who has already had one very good run on the year, they were 18-5 during a stretch in May and then early June, has got another run in them. If they don't, you have to figure one of those other teams that are in the wild card race certainly does. So if you don't have a winning stretch in you left, you're going to have to sit in the sidelines and watch somebody else go ahead and put together a good winning streak and essentially nail that thing down.
The tough part for Dave Miley and the Reds, and for Dan O'Brien too, is when you look at the list, there's over 20 teams that are on that same mode right now. Have a chance. Swing and a miss. LaRue's retired. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 for Williams, and here comes Paul Wilson.
You mean as far as trying to acquire a player?
No, as being on the bubble of whether you're in the race or not. Now, many of those teams that are potentially in the race, the wild card race or a divisional race, have no intention of going after something. They're not going to give away the future because, why give away 2 or 3 young prospects to bring somebody in for 2 months that may not be with you next year, and you might not make it anyways. There are other teams, yes, that will make moves this week. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Walt Jocketty, the general manager of the Cardinals, who was in Cooperstown this weekend because Dennis Eckersley was inducted, said very clearly, he said, I don't know whether we'll do anything, but it's pretty clear on the basis of the phone calls he's getting and the feedback he's gotten. There will be 3 or 4 deals this week to those teams that are clearly planning for the postseason. The question is, the Reds, are they planning for the postseason? No, they're trying to stay in it. You look at the Cardinals and the Yankees, they know they're going to the postseason, or the Red Sox. Will they spend the money? We'll find that out this week. Reds go 1-2-3, 2 punch outs and a ground out. Wilson goes back to the mound. He'll face Woody Williams next on FSN Ohio.
Introducing IMAX, a half hour of sports news like never before.
That void in sports news is now filled.
Diverse guests, smart analysis, and challenging questions.
It's just my opinion, but I'm right.
IMAX with Max Kellerman. Smart, funny, and always opinionated. Tonight on FSN.
Guys.
The 265 horsepower, 7-passenger Acura MDX. It's at home just about any place on Earth.
Aqua Swiss is a proud sponsor of the Reds on Fox Sports Net. Our watches come in a rainbow of colors with the finest genuine diamonds and the highest quality movement. See them at Richter & Phillips in Cincinnati and Jaffe & Gross in Dayton, or visit aquaswisswatch.com or a store near you.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Welcome back to Great American Ballpark. Paul Wilson, after grounding out for the final out of the second, ready to go to work, top of 3. Woody Williams, the number 9 hitter. Then Marlon Anderson and Edgar Renteria due up. This is the first of 3 with the Cardinals. Tomorrow, Corey Lytle against Jason Marquis. We're on the air with Real Reds at 6:30. Wednesday, Jose Acevedo against Jeff Suppan. On the air with Real Reds at 6:30 again. Off day for the Reds on Thursday, and they're looking forward to that. Then Friday, we'll be on the air against Houston. Aaron Harang against Pete Monroe. Real Reds at 6:30 on Friday. Williams sends it to right. Here comes Vanderwall. He's got it, one away. Hey, the next great thing in sports entertainment returns tonight with IMAX as Max Kellerman takes on the world to find out why Ricky Williams retired in his prime and what this does to the Dolphins' chances, plus a review of the Yankees-Red Sox series, the brawl, and why the rivalry's hotter than ever before. Don't miss IMAX tonight, only on FSN Ohio. How about Ricky Williams, huh? 27 years of age, sayonara football.
Following the beat of a different drum, obviously.
You wonder. Once a great baseball player. In fact, Reds general manager Jim Bowden was intent on trying to draft him if, in fact, he was not selected by Texas. Might he try baseball? You never know with Ricky. Ricky danced to a different drummer, huh? 0-1 to Marlin, who lined out his first time up. And don't forget the Ricky Williams situation and the Yankee Red Sox scenario, both on IMAX tonight on FSN Ohio. Bouncer to short. Castro has it. Quickly 2 away. Defense, defense, defense. How important is it in the first inning? Marlon Anderson hit that bullet. That could have been a base hit. Good play. And then this play by Wilson in the air. Got it. So 2 balls that might have been hits. And D'Angelo makes the final out. So some defense helped the Reds in that first inning. And Chris, we saw Winters and Wilson talking going off, and we don't know what they said, but I think Wilson might have been asking him, did that hit me on the foot, go right in the air, and if I caught it, is that an out? And if it never hit the ground, the answer would be yes, but the replay shows it looked like it hit the ground first, then hit his foot and went up.
And you got to remember that this rained a little bit this afternoon, even while they're taking early batting practice, so that infield kind of slick right now.
6-3, 6-3. Yes, sirree. Manos de Oro. 1-2-3.
Nobody takes it to extremes like Toyota. Extreme performance with America's best-selling car and extreme savings. Now get 0% financing on any new 04 Camry or get $1,000 cash back. That's 0% financing or $1,000 back on Camry. Because at the end of the day, it's not a great deal unless it's a great car. And you don't have to go to extremes to get it. See your Toyota dealer before it all ends August 2nd.
Suarez, I have some good news. I'm taking you out.
Oh, you said you had good news.
I do. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico. Give me the ball.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Please welcome Shaquille O'Neal. And now, Pamela Anderson. Chris Rock. Let's give a big hand for Samuel L. Jackson.
There's something special in the air on the best damn sports show, period. Tonight on FSN.
And now here's the summer takeoff upcoming schedule brought to you by AmeriSuites and Wellesley Inns and Suites. For summer takeoff details and how you can stay at any AmeriSuites or Wellesley Inns and Suites and receive $100 off any airline ticket anytime, visit summertakeoff.com. First pitch swinging. Friel sends it to right. Under it is Reggie. Sanders has it, one away. Ryan's 0 for 2, pop up to short and the fly ball to right. And here's Castro, who walked in the first and scored on the double by Casey. Reds got 3 in the first off that guy, Woody Williams. Walk to Castro, double by Casey, homer by Jimenez. They led it 3-0. They now lead it 3-1. Oh, by the way, I told you about your former coach and Hall of Famer Robin Roberts saying hello. I want to wish you the best. That he watches very often. Also said, upon further review of your career, he said he thought you should have been an outfielder. The way you hit.
I told you all along I could swing the bat. It's just I never made contact enough. Small detail there.
0-1 to Castro's wide. And the senator from Kentucky, Jim Bunning, just happened to be watching the night when you talked about the phone call that you got from Senator Bunning. And during the course of the conversation, you said you wondered if you got it because he might have been a politician looking for votes. And he said he wanted to set the record very clearly, very straight. He said he called because your coach, Robin Roberts, called and told him you were coming to the major leagues.
Oh.
Number one, popped up and out of play. And number two, he said, you know, Chris has got to remember what I said. And so what did you say? He said, I called because Chris was the second St. X graduate to make it to the major leagues, and Senator Bunning was the first.
He was the first, absolutely. The Bombers have to stick together.
That's right.
Always nice to hear from him. Haven't heard from him lately.
No. He said I invited him in if he comes to town to come up and talk a little baseball. Hopefully he will one of these days.
From one phone call, one Hall of Famer, Robin Roberts, to another.
Yep.
I'll tell you, George, you know.
See how you affect people?
You've been doing that for so long up there at Cooperstown. I don't know how many years, 20?
25.
25 years now. And they have the biggest contingent of Hall of Famers ever there this year.
Castro deep to left. Back is Mabry looking up, and he got it. In front of the wall, he hauls it in about 340 feet away. Castro's bid for home run number 2 falls into Mabry's glove, and there's 2 away.
He hits it a long way. Juan Castro did a nice job his first time up, getting on base, scoring on a double by Sean Casey, and looks down. And he knows he just missed that ball. Had a good swing at it, just had a little too much air underneath it. George, getting back to Cooperstown, you know, how do you keep yourself from being like a kid in the candy shop and just pinching yourself? Am I really here with all these? You had 50 Hall of Famers. I mean, the greatest names in the history of baseball, and you're rubbing shoulders with them, not only on stage there, but, you know, behind the scenes, during the dinner, swapping stories. That's got to be something else.
You are a kid in a candy store, and it's great to get to know them as people, as men, not just the baseball players that we've all followed. And I kind of look at myself as like a surrogate fan. Any one of us, you, me, you know, anybody up here in the booth that would have a chance to do that, how special it is and how much we all appreciate the game. And I think Dallas Green always had the best idea. He said on Hall of Fame weekend there should be no baseball games. Everybody in baseball should be required to go there and see what happens. Casey looking for a back-to-back double plate appearance. He winds up at second with another 2-bagger. Number 32 on the air for Casey. He's in scoring position.
Well, Casey got into a little bit of a hitting funk there for a while, and it seemed like he was hitting the ball hard but not finding green space. Tonight he splits the gap in left center field the first time up. Now he goes down the left field line with a little bit of a slice. Not a bad pitch by Woody Williams at all. A sinking fastball blown away, and Casey simply hits it where he pitched it.
So Casey 2 for 2, 2 base hits. He started the night second in the National League in hitting at 342. Here's Dunn, bounced out his first time up. Casey inches off second. Dunn swings and misses on the changeup. And by the way, Sparky says hi. Sparky looks pretty good, had a rough spring but feeling a lot better, and he watches very often as a satellite dish. The numbers for Dunn with runners in scoring position.
He doesn't mind my mustache now. You know, he made me shave it when I went to throw batting practice at age 19.
He understands TV. I asked him, I said, who are the best young managers that you watch? And he said, in the National League, I like 2 of them. Bruce Bochy, he thinks is the best young manager in baseball. And number 2 is Dave Miley. He said, I've been so impressed the way Miley runs the club on the field, and he knows what he does off the field. That's a pretty good endorsement from Sparky Anderson, the Hall of Famer. One ball, 2 strikes to Adams, sitting on 98 career homers. Only Albert Pujols among those under 25 more homers among active major leaguers under 25. Down and in for a ball. 2-2. Is there anybody better at smothering a ball in the dirt than that guy, Chris?
No, he hasn't made an error in over a year. He's a guy that simply feels personally insulted if he lets his pitcher be pegged with a wild pitch. He's got 1 pass ball on the year. Runs the pitching staff as well as anybody, and anything he does at the plate as a hitter is just simply icing on the cake. Mike Matheny's the best there is.
249 games without an error for Matheny. For Adam Dunn, a frustrating at bat. He's 0 for 2. The punch out. Reds strand Casey, and they lead it 3-1.
I'm a Ford truck man. That's all I drive.
Every Ford truck man knows the next F-150 is the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and that Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck 27 years running. And now F-150 Heritage comes with up to $5,000 cash or 0% APR for 60 months. Ford F-150. Get the truck. Be the man.
Ain't no doubt my king on the mountains built Ford tough. I'm a Ford truck man.
Did you know that Grippos has been Cincinnati's fun food company for 85 years? That's right. Angelo Grippo started it all back in 1919. And over the years, have we had fun? But one thing's remained the same, that great Grippo taste. From fresh, crisp, original potato and barbecue chips, cheese curls and pretzel rods, to their sweet Bermuda onion chips, Grippos has it all. So when you've got a taste for something great, thank Angelo and go grab some Grippos.
Grippos is the fun food company.
The conditions at today's venue are perfect. Not too hot, not too cold. Henry scores some points early with the hand wash. Good move avoiding the pants there. No surprises in this routine. Wait a minute. Booyah! What a finish! This moment deserves a Pepsi Edge.
Reward yourself with new Pepsi Edge. It has full-on flavor, but 50% less sugar and carbs. So feel free to celebrate any little achievement.
Years of conditioning really paid off there.
The Westin Hotel, located in the heart of Cincinnati, is the perfect place to stay during your visit. The Westin features the 5th and Vine Street Bar and the Albee Restaurant, 2 great places to unwind after the game. Call 1-800-WESTIN-1 to reserve your room at Cincinnati's Major League Hotel.
Say, Reds fans, you know how easy it is to dress like your favorite player? Just go to CincinnatiReds.com. And you can take a peek at everything you want, from player jerseys to T-shirts, caps, and more. CincinnatiReds.com is the place to shop for all your Reds merchandise. You can also pick up a parka and a rain jacket there, and you need it right now because it has started to rain again at Great American Ballpark. It rained before the game, rained in the afternoon, then rained before the game. They had the tarp on the field. Bruce Fremming and Mike Winters, the umpires, getting together on the mound as the rain starts to come down fairly hard. They're going to decide whether or not they will pull the tarp right here.
Well, part of the decision, of course, is not how hard it is raining right now, but what the forecast is. And with, of course, now today's weather technology, you can pretty much pinpoint how long it's going to rain, or at least give a pretty good estimate. So Doug Gallant, head of the grounds crew, is giving them the indication apparently that the radar doesn't look all that bad, and the local forecasters are saying this is a pass-through shower, so it's also known as a play-through shower.
There's Doug. Head of the grounds crew wants to say hi to parents up in northern Ohio. He looks like he's going to have a pretty busy night. Look out. Vanderwall and Pena avoid a collision. Vanderwall ends up with the baseball, and there's one away. Albert's retired. He's 0 for 2. Look out, JV.
No, really, no telling for us up here how much communication, if any, was going on between those guys.
Now, we talk about it so often. When you keep switching players at positions, and the Reds have had a revolving door in the outfield because of injuries, it gets crazy. And you can't blame this one on Ryan Friel.
He just wishes he was out there.
By the way, on our last homestay, here's a swing by Rolen. Pretty good. Center. Back is Willie Moe at the wall. Won't get this one. That's gone for Rolen. Home run number 21. He doubled his first time up. Sends this one to right center for a round tripper for his 21st of the year. It's now a 3-2 ball game.
He had very good swings against Paul Wilson his first time up. Lashed a double against him to left field. That time the ball out over the plate. Rolen waits just a hair longer. Decides to go with it. A little bit of a cutter that stays up for Paul Wilson, and Rolen plenty of juice to get it out of here.
In his career now, 5 for 11 and 2 homers against Paul Wilson. I'm not sure the Reds pitchers like pitching in the rain. I mean, I'll never forget the Sammy Sosa homer in Chicago, Chris, that proved to be, and you talk about the turning point of a road trip.
It can happen. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it was coming down hard rain. It was a 3-0 pitch, which was kind of unusual. 3-0 pitches have been deadly to the Reds here over the last couple of weeks. Albert Pujols hit one for a 3-0 home run here at Great American Ballpark on the Cardinals last time through.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Edmonds, who doubled in the 5th.
You have to assume that a hitter like Rolen or a hitter like Edmonds or Pujols or Sammy Sosa, you pitch him on a 3-0 count the way you do on a 2-0 count or a 3-1 count.
On the left field line, heading towards the corner, curving foul.
Wow, not by much.
Wow, that looked like it was curving fast, but it just straightened out and only ended up being about maybe 7 or 8 feet foul. One and 2 to Edmonds. Hit his 28th double in the 2nd inning. That crackling noise that you hear is the raindrops hitting our microphone down back behind home plate. So it's not your set. It's just that's how hard the rain is coming down. I mean, sometimes it'll trickle down. Right now it's coming down pretty good, and you have to figure they may be rolling out the tarp at the end of this inning. Sky to left. Dunn trying to find it in the rain. Where is it? Castro tells him. He comes in, and he's got it. I mean, he couldn't locate it when it first went up, and Castro helps him, and hope you can't read lips. 2 away. Time for our Aflac trivia question of the night. Who holds the Reds record for most total bases in a season? Most total bases in a season. Answer coming up. Our Aflac trivia question. Here's Reggie, sacrifice fly to left in the 2nd, knocked in the 1st round for the Cardinals. That made it 3-1. Homer by Rolen has made it 3-2. Been one of the craziest schedules that all the teams remembered in a long time. Cardinals were talking about it before the game. There's the 1-0. That's foul. Reds and Cardinals didn't play for the first 2.5 months of the season, and then at the end of this series we will have played 13 times in 5.5 weeks, and you won't see him again. And of course, Cardinals now will not face the Cubs after all the talk about a possible showdown late in the year between those two teams. It won't happen this year. Right now, the Cardinals are happy with that. When you have a lead.
I'm not so sure it would even matter all that much. With the way the Cardinals are playing and the injuries that have decimated the Cubs, the wild card is really the only thing everybody else in this division is really shooting for. So the question is, at what point do you become a Cardinal fan when they're playing the other teams in the division? And you probably have to say all the time from now on.
After you finish playing them.
After you finish, obviously.
The Reds' hope is that 4.5 games is not insurmountable in the final 2 months of the season. 2.5 months.
Well, the fact that no one has really put a great run on other than the Cardinals. I mean, there are some other teams that are better, but you look at the other divisions and the Cardinals got the best record in baseball. So the Reds picked the wrong division in which to play this year. So as long as no one else puts on a tremendous run, but there's no guarantee that will not happen. Especially if there's a trade made or one team gears up a little bit in order to do just that.
I mean, put yourself in the shoes of Dan O'Brien, John Allen, Carl Linder. What do you do? Are you a buyer? Are you a seller? Do you trade away some of what is not a well-stocked minor league system in any event to just stay in a race? Does it make sense?
You'll overpay right now, no matter what. So if you've got 1 or 2 prospects there that other people want, and if there were great prospects knocking on the major league door right now, believe me, we'd see them. Whether they were pitchers, infielders, or outfielders, with all the injuries the Reds have had, if there were major league ready players, they'd be here in Cincinnati. So obviously there are not, and those few terrific prospects that the Reds may have are probably lower in the minor leagues, and if you're going to ask for them, why would you give up the gems for a maybe chance this year when you're really not sure if you're starting pitching or relievers are they're going to take you there anyway?
Well, Wilson didn't get the pitch he wanted last inning. He got that one though, a 3-2 pitch, strikes out Sanders. It's a 3-2 ball game as we go to the bottom of 4.
Introducing the Sports List
with Summer Sanders.
The new show that counts down anything in the world of sports.
The most shocking upsets, the best sports heroes, the sexiest athletes, the biggest sports scandals, and much more. Hosted by Summer Sanders.
Every night, a new list.
Every night, a new argument. The Sports List, weeknights on FSN.
Best damn sports show, period. Tonight on FSN.
What a change.
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy for her. Look at this. What you get.
Introducing the newly redesigned 2005 Nissan Altima. You might call it an extreme makeover. We call it the new 05 Altima. Now with $1,000 cash back or 1.9% financing, Altima's never been more attractive.
Beautiful.
1,000 cash or 1.9% at your Nissan dealer now.
Cincinnati Reds baseball on FSN Ohio is being brought to you by Ford. See your local Ford store. By JTM Food Group, where service is success. And by Pepsi and your local Pepsi bottler. Pepsi, the choice of the Reds. You need everything when you come to the ballpark. For you Ohio State fans, don't look. Wolverine umbrellas. Oh, don't they confiscate those when you walk into the stadium anymore?
They do in Columbus.
That's if they're Barry Larkin fans, it's okay. Now that's the right kind of rain gear to have, isn't it? You wish you had the rain gear concession on this day.
I'll tell you what, this will be kind of a strange summer for weather. Who would ever think that we'd be looking at the lowest high temperature on record today here in Cincinnati?
Feels kind of nice if you take the rain away, but tonight we'll be dealing with this most of the evening probably. Rain north and south of Cincinnati, and right now it's also here at the ballpark. We go to the bottom of number 4, D'Angelo Jimenez, who homered his first time up, a 355-foot shot down the line to give the Reds a 3-0 lead in the first. This game is starting to look eerily similar to a whole lot of ball games the Reds have played of late. They get 3, 4, or 5 runs early, and then little by little it slips away. Reds have 49 losses this year, and of the 49 losses that they've been involved in 31 of those games they've had a lead. And it's not just the tail end of the bullpen. Everybody talks about the bullpen. It's been starters that have been the reason for it too. Caught. Marlon Anderson did the same thing D'Angelo did to Marlon first time up, and he takes a long look at him, robs him of a base hit.
Fair play is fair play. Marlon Anderson leaps high to catch that line drive by D'Angelo.
Rich Cope doesn't want you to wait too long tonight, so here is your Aflac trivia answer for tonight. Who holds the Reds record for most total bases in a season? And is George Foster. Set back in 1977. Not a bad year for George in 77, was it? Here's Willie Moe, skied to left, Mabry under it, calling for it, and he has it, 2 away. Well, so far so good for Woody Williams. 2 quick outs in the 4th.
George Foster in the house tonight. Saw him before the during batting practice.
Finally got a chance to come to the ballpark and see it. Well, what a great leader of young men. He's done so much good for young people, not just here in and around the Cincinnati area, but around Major League Baseball and the Northeast. He's given great ministry to young people, both in terms of how to live their lives and in terms of how to play baseball.
Well, he's the commissioner of the league started by the Cincinnati Reds Community Foundation.
Vanderwall pops it foul. McCluskey Chevrolet, home of the quick credit guarantee. 1 click, 1 call, 1 number can do it all. 761-1111.com. Vanderwall struck out looking his first time up back in the 2nd. With Griffey on the disabled list, Kearns on the disabled list, and if you join the slate, Jason Romano now on the disabled list, out for the year. Vanderwall gets a start today. Incidentally, with Romano on the DL, the Reds called up Felipe Lopez today. He's at the ballpark and dressed and ready to play tonight. Reds lead at 3-2. We're going to the 5th.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
I'll get the seats, you get the stroller.
Introducing the only minivan with 2 rows of fold-in floor seats. The all-new 2005 Grand Caravan with exclusive stow-and-go seating and storage.
Honey, you coming?
Want more? Get more at the Summer Sales Drive. Grab a Caravan and $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of $2,000.
And we are dancing, and you're dangerous, near me. I get ideas. I get ideas. And after we have kissed goodnight, still you linger.
Rico moves your ideas forward.
You get ideas.
must be Skyline time. Time for the new Skyline Chili Fresh Selects menu, featuring the classic chicken wrap with our new chili ranch dressing, the Southwestern chicken salad with our special bean mix, and the Greek chicken salad with our zesty original recipe Greek dressing. When a whole menu makes you feel this good, everything else can wait.
It's Skyline time.
Well, are they red hot? You bet they are. Willie Moe and Ryan Friel, two of the Reds' most popular players these days, the way they're playing. And, oh, yeah, Willie Moe's still available, but Ryan, he and Christie, brand new baby. So 1 out of 2 ain't bad. By the way, there you see Ryan Friel, the human dynamo, the Tasmanian devil, whatever you want to call him, Captain Crash, and Willie Moe out in center today. There's a bouncer. Down to first, Casey has it. And other than Willie Moe Pena, Ryan Friel is the one Red who more than any is always in the running for Captain Crash in any ball game, right? Because he plays the game so all out, never fails, that he's going to give you 110% effort.
I'd like to see a highlight tape at the end of the year of all the plays, the misses, the contact hits.
Oh, you know we're going to see that. Mark Balk's already working on
absolutely.
that. Final week of the season, we've got a season's worth of it already.
You're not kidding.
One away, and here's Matheny on the bouncer to Casey. But you know, our last homestand, we didn't get a chance to talk about it because the discussion came after we left. But remember, you and I were talking about what Ryan Friel would do to stay on the ball club. He plays 5 different positions. You name it, he'll do it. And in the course of our conversation, we innocently said he'd do anything. He'd even drive the bus. So after the game, what happened? Ken Griffey Jr. said, wait a minute. Whatever you do, don't let him drive the bus.
We're drawing the line right there. And you know what? As I think about that, that's probably a wise decision to draw the line right there.
Junior had the best line of the year, didn't he? And he told Friel, too. He told Ryan. Here's Matheny, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matheny fly to center first time up. That's a punch out for Paul Wilson. Strikeout number 3 for Wilson, and here comes Woody Williams. Hey, tonight on the Best Sports Show period, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, we'll talk to former Vikings running back Robert Smith about his own shocking retirement and his thoughts on the sudden retirement of Dolphins running back Ricky Williams. Plus, former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson tells us about his future in the ring and if he can regain the heavyweight crown. That's the Best Sports Show period tonight on FSN Ohio. Williams swinging. Castro has it roll up his arm, and it'll be an infield hit for Woody Williams. Infield hit for Williams. He's 1 for 2, and he's on with 2 outs.
Now, one of those plays by Juan Castro. You have to come charging hard. Thick grass, full of rain right now, so it really slowed the ball down. He's got to field that ball cleanly and come up firing right away. Perfectly placed ground ball by the opposing pitcher.
And a factor in tonight's game from here on out with the rain that's been coming. Any ball that's hit on the grass, especially base hits to the outfield, ball's going to be slippery, and it'll be a factor that Jose Aquindo, the third base coach for the Cardinals, and Mark Berry, the third base coach for the Reds, will take into consideration on sending runners. Marlon Anderson, a big swing. Talk about up the elevator shaft. LaRue calling. Here comes Friel, and he'll call him off. Ryan Friel takes it. Cards will strand 1. They trail it 3-2. We go to the bottom of 5 in Cincinnati.
Nobody takes it to extremes like Toyota. Extreme quality like nobody else in the world. And extreme savings with 0% for 60 months or $1,000 cash back on any new Tundra, including double cabs. That's 0 for 60 or $1,000 back on Tundra. Or choose Tacoma and get big cash back. Because at the end of the day, it's not a great deal unless it's a great truck. And you don't have to go to extremes to get it. See your Toyota dealer before it all ends, August 2nd.
Approachable, loyal, faithful, trustworthy, objective, committed. These are just a few of the leadership qualities that teens look for from their peers. At Teen Life Coalition, we work with local high school students to build not only awareness, but respect and understanding for the sanctity of human life.
We here at JTM know that the key to success is service to others. JTM Food Group, where service is success.
You know that little red ball from way back when? Well, the lottery's bringing him back again. He's coming to town and he's bringing his friends. Just 7 little balls. That's where it begins. Now this is big news that's sure to please. Red ball's popping up a lot, you see, so there's more cash for you and me. All you gotta do is pick the right 3.
The Ohio Lottery's Red Ball is back. Now when you win, the Red Ball could win you more.
Yeah, Red Ball's back. You can really score. Play the pick 3 game that wins you more.
Here's tonight's Ohio Lottery winnings. July 26, our pick 3, 229-229, pick 4, 7828, 7828, Buckeye 5, 356, 1524, 356, 1524. Hope you had a winner tonight in the Ohio Lottery. LaRue swings and fouls it off. Oh, by the way, if you're sitting home and watching tonight, Laura Goldsmith, your present will be an Ohio Lottery ticket from your husband Mark tomorrow for your anniversary. Goldie, 20 years, huh? Congratulations, Mark Goldsmith. I'm sure you got a great present. I'm sure you have a great present. All lined up, signed, sealed, and delivered. One of those Reds ponchos that they're passing out free tonight. It's a little wet, dear.
Folded in a funny way.
Up high to LaRue. Like we've never done that.
They're tough to get back in those little bags, you know. You can never quite get them back the way they
You're
were.
right. LaRue struck out first time up. Look out!
Well, Jason's been already hit 15 times this year by pitches, second in the National League. How close is this pitch? Well, it's close to his head, but I'm not so sure it was all that far off the strike zone. Maybe 4 or 5 inches inside. A lot of hitters crowd the plate, and in addition to crowding the plate, move towards the plate with their body. Jason, one of those.
I mean, there's no one in the league right now that sets up closer and also dives into the plate more than LaRue. That's a walk. Jason takes the free pass for Woody Williams. That is walk number 2 issued tonight. And here comes Paul Wilson. The Cardinals looking for sacrifice from Wilson, who steps into the batter's box. Beachmont Ford, easy to find, easy to deal with. The largest truck dealer in Southwest Ohio, with over 1,200 trucks available at all times. Here comes Wilson. Paul bounced to short first time up. On the year, Wilson 6 sacrifices. That's a strike. That's a breaking ball for a strike. Wilson takes a look at Mark Berry. Is the sacrifice still on? He flashes a sign to him. LaRue off first. Squares. That's a ball, 1 and 2. That'll be a strikeout. Wilson does not successfully execute the sacrifice, and that's strikeout number 4 for Woody Wilson, shortstop. Chris, let's take a look at the kind of night it's been. Close, close, close. Good plays for the Reds, and almost a collision there. And here's Dunn trying to find the baseball in left. Castro finally tells him where it is, and here's Friel bailing out his catcher.
Yeah, some things in this game that could have gone wrong that did not go wrong. That attempt by Paul Wilson did go wrong in getting the bunt down. That's painful when you're in a one-run ball game and you're got the number 8 hitter gets on base like Jason LaRue did, and you're the pitcher. You know, you almost put a little extra pressure on yourself trying to get that ball down, that bunt down, that is. And you know, you could see him kind of jabbing at it a little bit, and Woody Williams was not going to make it easy on him. Tried to get him to chase a pitch away, and finally threw a breaking ball in there, was just fouled off.
LaRue down at first with Friel at the plate now. Ryan popped to short, flied to right, 0 for 2. Castro on deck. Now Friel might very well bunt, but it wouldn't be a sacrifice. He could very easily bunt for a base hit with a 1-0 count. The Reds' best bunter at the plate right now. Rolen 2 steps behind the bag at third. And while I don't think Tony La Russa is thinking that Friel will sacrifice, I think the long hold by Williams and the throw over might be just trying to get an inkling if he might try to turn and set 2 bunt. That's a strike. Friel looks at Mark Berry, who rolls through some signs for him and LaRue. Randy Whistler is usually the first base coach for the Reds tonight. Clips the inside corner, 1-2.
You don't really know what would have happened had Paul Wilson been able to get that bunt down, but it certainly changes the dynamics of the inning. 1 hit scores him. Now it'll take 1 extra base hit or a couple of singles. And it also changes the momentum of the inning. And interesting, as you look up and down the statistics on the Reds and their ability to get bunts down, Paul Wilson has been asked to bunt more than anybody else in the ball club, 12 times overall, and he's been successful only 6. So a 50% success rate getting the bunt down, not something that I guess that could use a little improvement.
And it's not to be said that they haven't worked on it. I mean, this Reds team, other than Milwaukee, we watch the Brewers a lot. The Reds and the Brewers are the 2 teams in the league that spent the most amount of pregame time that we've seen on the field, actually working on pitchers hitting and pitchers bunting and situational hitting. Execution is the key. Here's Castro, walked in the first, flied to left in the third. Here's a great example of a guy, Chris, who a number of teams over the last couple of years have expressed a lot of interest in. And in a normal year, if you had your shortstop of the future, and if Barry Larkin was healthy, you might trade a Juan Castro for a good package if someone needed that extra player, a pennant contending team, in the closing weeks of the season. But for the Reds, he is too valuable to let him get out of town.
Is he a potential free agent?
Yes, he is.
Well, then he may end up getting out of town after the season's over anyway. So if you decide to be a seller, you know, you may want to start doing these things before the trading deadline and getting something in return. If there's a team that is out there willing to overpay for a player who you may not have next year anyway, can you go wrong by trading him?
It's not to say that he might not re-sign with the Reds. I mean, right now, who's the best shortstop that the Reds have if Barry Larkin does retire, if he does lead? It's this guy. It's Juan Castro.
I agree there.
And he's made it clear throughout his career that he would take less money and stay here. He loves it here. The question is, does that fit into the Reds payroll anyways? And he's one of the most respected defensive specialists in all of baseball. Barry Larkin still a big question mark around him for 2005. That's a walk to Castro. Let's go back, Chris. We talked about it earlier. Early leads, late losses for the Reds. The numbers: innings 1 through 3, innings 4 through 6, and after the 7th inning. Most importantly, look at the two middle numbers: runs and opponents' runs. It tells you the story. Reds have scored more runs early, but then it's been in the middle and late innings that the opponents have come back.
Well, they've done both things early the best. They've scored more runs early, and then they've had their better team earned run average early. Then late in the ball game, they seem to score fewer runs, and the earned run average goes up. This is the ones down here, boy. Those are the ones that come in blown saves. They come as those games that just got away from them, and that's what really makes it so demoralizing when you have a lead going into the ball game, especially if it's a 4-run lead early or a 5-run lead in the 3rd or 4th inning, and have the other team come back. If you remember how jubilant you feel when the Reds come back and win a ball game in their last at bat, well, that is how demoralizing it feels to have it done to you, and the Reds have had it done to them many more times this year than the other way around.
Third walk issued by Woody Williams tonight. He's issued as many as 6 in a game, a high for this year. That came against the Reds earlier this month. Here's Casey, who's 2 for 2, 2 doubles. Reds would love a shot right here. LaRue off second after knocking the dirt out of his spikes, and Castro down at first. Sean's doubles numbers 31 and 32 on the season. The average now to 346, with runners in scoring position right where he usually is, over 300 at 360. Cardinals continue to overshift on Casey no matter what the situation. Renteria to the second base side of the second base bag. That tells you as much about how they will pitch on Casey. They like to go down and in, down and in, down and in to try to prevent him from inside outing or taking the pitch away. Every once in a while, a pitcher will make a mistake and Casey makes him pay. And I'm sure that was part of the visit that Williams got from Dave Duncan. Look, stick to the game plan. If you do, we can get this guy to roll a ground ball to the right side. If you don't, you'll get what you got the last 2 times up, doubles the other way.
Well, Woody Williams is a classic kind of pitcher that gets ahead early, and he gets ahead early with a lot of different stuff, but mostly harder stuff. And then later in the count, he begins to try to expand the strike zone. He wants the hitter to hit his pitch. In this situation, he wants Sean Casey, obviously, to hit it not on the sweet spot. But with Casey, is so dangerous. You know, if you've got the kind of fastball that you can control and cut if you're a right-hander, just get it inside on him a little bit. That's where most teams like to pitch him. They tried to pitch him away, and he's hurt him both times.
It's a great battle here. That just misses. Williams takes a deep breath and drops his head. He thought he had a strike past Casey. It would have been the 3rd strike of the at-bat, the 3rd out of the inning. Let's see if Casey can turn that around on the 2-2 here and turn one around from Williams.
What that pitch does is it finds the outside part of the strike zone for Sean Casey. It reaffirms exactly what he thought, and it gives him a fresh memory of it.
And again, Casey hits it to center, but don't hit it there. Not to that guy. Edmonds hauls it in. The Reds will strand 2 walks. Casey's retired. He's 2 for 3. The Reds still lead at 3-2 as we go to the 6th.
Can inspiration make the minivan even more amazing? Yes. Will it let you travel in luxury and style? Sure. Can it find a place for everything and put everything in its place with our exclusive stow and go seating and storage? Of course. The amazing new Chrysler Town & Country.
Celebrate Chrysler Financial's 40th with $2,000 in combined cash allowances. Plus, through August 2nd, make no monthly payments until 2005.
We're here live where Big Donald Faison is wrestling with a very tough opponent.
Faison's really struggling today, Rich.
Well, if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen, right? You got to give credit to the pickle jar. It's putting up one heck of a fight.
Yeah, that's some vacuum it's packing, huh?
Wait, Faison's loosened its grip. He's done it! Folks, this moment deserves a Pepsi Edge.
Reward yourself with new Pepsi Edge. It has full-on flavor, but 50% less sugar and carbs. So feel free to celebrate any little achievement.
Tell you what, that would have been an embarrassing loss for Faison.
Want more adventure this summer? Get more. You'll find it at the Jeep Summer Sales Drive, where we're celebrating Chrysler Financial's 40th anniversary with $1,000 in bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of $3,000 on the capable Jeep Liberty. Plus, through August 2nd, make no monthly payments until 2005 at the Jeep Summer Sales Drive. Nothing is more fun than summer in a Jeep vehicle. Want more? Get more. See your Jeep dealer by August 2nd during the Chrysler Financial 40th Anniversary Celebration.
I'm Mark Spalding, owner of Mark Spalding Construction Company, and we're a commercial and industrial general contractor. We use our Bobcat equipment in confined spaces where there's not a whole lot of room around the job site to move, and a Bobcat's fast and it's real nimble. The reason I've always used Bobcat Enterprises is because of their service department. I've had Bobcat equipment for over 10 years, and I plan to keep using them because their service is great. It's a reliable machine.
Test drive new Bobcat equipment at Bobcat Enterprises in Cincinnati, Columbus, Louisville, and Lexington.
Welcome back to Great American Ballpark. George Grant along with Chris Welch. Reds trying to do something that they've done often, Chris. That's get a lead. That's the good news. Now you got to keep the lead.
Well, you got to add on to it, first of all. I mean, you can't always put the blame on the pitching that you blow the lead. Well, if you score 4 in the first inning and that's the end of the offense, all you're doing is giving your other team a chance to kind of bite their way back into the ball game. And the Cardinals are a good ball club. Said it early on, if you don't take the game to them, they're going to eventually find a way to come back and beat you. You can't be stationary with the Cardinals, and they got those big 3 runs in the first inning and weren't able to get any more since. So right now we're in a 1-run ball game, and that's why Paul Wilson has got just the smallest of error following him out there on the mound right now.
That Woody Williams off the hook. He usually lasts long into a ball game. Here's Renteria, liner right to the second baseman. Renteria hit it right on the button. He's 0 for 3. 1 out here in the top of the 6th, and here comes Pujols, who's 0 for 2. Hey, senior citizens, the Reds have a deal for you. It's a senior citizen discount special at the ballpark. On Wednesday, Reds meet up with the Redbirds at 7:10. You could get half-price tickets. Reds fans 60 and older may purchase half-price tickets, non-premium tickets in advance of game day. Wednesday, right here at the ballpark.
One of the reasons that Paul Wilson has been successful tonight against the Cardinals has been keep those table setters off the bases. I mean, you're going to give up your base hits to Scott Rolen and Albert Pujols and Jim Edmonds because they're great hitters. But if you allow the number 1, number 2 guys to get on base, those hits are going to mean runs. And so far on the night, 0 for 6 are the leadoff and the number 2 hitter in the Cardinal lineup.
You saw those numbers. We talked about Pujols beginning of the game. He was 7 for 12 against Wilson in his career. Now 7 for 14 after the 0 for 2 effort tonight. But you figure sooner or later, as that number tells you, he finds a way to get on. That's a ball for a walk, and there it is. Albert marches down to first. Another game on base for Pujols. For Wilson, that's a free pass. It is the first walk he has issued tonight. 1 out, 1 on. And here's Rolen. A double and a homer for Rolen. 5 for 11 now, and 2 homers against Wilson. So this meat of the order is something Paul knows full well he has to deal with.
The JTM Food Group would like to salute the people of our community who unselfishly volunteer their time to help others. JTM Food Group, where service is success.
Short lead for Pujols down at first. That's down and in. And it's 6 straight balls, and LaRue will go out and talk to Wilson.
I think it's just a matter of settling Paul Wilson down. You know, you give up a first pitch or first batter line drive like he has to Edgar Renteria, and then you begin to really wonder again, all right, you know, do I have to make perfect pitches here? And he looked like he just pitched a little bit away from contact with Albert Pujols. At times, we're going to relive the home run that Scott Rolen hit off of him, a pitch that was a little bit of a cutter out over the plate above the waist. Looking for a ground ball here.
Just missing inside, and it's now 3-0. Edmonds on deck. There's your strike.
You know, every team has a terrific opportunity to do a lot of scouting. They've got advanced scouts, they got video scouting, they've got computerized scouting. The Cardinals do something kind of interesting. They give every player on their team a card which shows what the opposing pitcher did the last few times against him. Not as far as what the batting average is or things like that, but what a pitcher threw to a certain batter. For instance, Scott Rolen got one tonight on what Wilson has done against him this year. as far as with runners in scoring position, what he throws on the first pitch, what he throws after a breaking ball. So in kind of a very thumbnail sketch, a hitter can look at this and say, okay, this guy goes after me with sinkers and sliders, for instance, and kind of knows the tendencies. Not all hitters want to sit down and watch a video and study it. You know, we always talk about Tony Gwynn and what a great video aficionado he was. He would go in and study a pitcher for hours and hours until he had the guy figured out. A lot of hitters don't want that. They just want to show up and say, I want to see the ball and hit it. But it also helps to have a little bit of help if you need it. And they boiled it down to such a basic little snapshot that I think it helps just about all their hitters.
Pujols running on the 3-2 with 1 out, so Wilson will chase him back to first. Try it again, 3-2 to Rolen. They're trying to avoid the twin killing. A little bit bigger lead, and they'll chase him back again. And this is a George Brett philosophy. Just look for fastball. I mean, he said, I can adjust to anything. I'm looking fastball every time out of the box. There goes Pujols. There goes a shot down to third. Bobbled by Friel. Will he get 1 out? He will. And Rolen kind of gimps past the bag. He stretched it out with that knee that's been bothering him. He almost beat it out. Friel hung with it and gets the out as the runner advances to second.
Well, Pujols running on the pitch. Don't know if they're going to have a chance to get him anyway. It had to be picked clean by Friel. Once it wasn't, his only play is first base. And I'm not buying into the limp by Scott Rolen. We've seen that before.
And this so often is where that, I mean, you could tell by the grimace on his face as well as the gimp past the bag. That's so often where you do hurt yourself more than anything if you've got a tender hamstring or a bad knee. Edmonds, that's way out of here. A 2-run shot by Jim Edmonds, and he does it again to the Reds. Edmonds gets his 5th hit in 12 at bats against Wilson. His 2nd homer, and for Edmonds, the 2-run shot is his 25th homer of the year, and the lead now belongs to the Cardinals 4-3.
Well, talking about a fastball, that may have been a fastball, a sinker, maybe a changeup. Either way, the location was bad, and Jim Edmonds, who likes the ball up, attacks this ball, and he just follows through, puts his head down, and runs around the bases and gives the Cardinals a 1-run lead.
"20 home runs against the Reds in his career. Jim Edmonds. Man.
The guy spent half his career in the American League, didn't he?
He made up for lost time, didn't he? He's done it with his glove. He's done it with his bat. You make an all-opponent team. He's on it, Chris.
Absolutely.
He's had more smiles here than any Reds player the last 2 years. So just as we talked about those leads that evaporate, another one has here tonight. 2 in the 6th for the Cardinals, 4-3. St. Louis has the lead. Edmonds 2 for 3 again. That's the look of 5 straight losses. And a lead that has evaporated here with his best pitcher on the mound. And you saw, hopefully, you probably saw the reaction of Paul Wilson as soon as he delivered the pitch. He kicked at the dirt on the mound. He knew he made a mistake, and boy, did Edmonds make him pay. Got the out he wanted, but one batter too late. The 2-out home run by Jim Edmonds gives the Cardinals a 4-3 lead as we go to the bottom of 6.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner and proud spokesman for the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. Each year, Wendy's and Fox Sports Net team up to find the best high school juniors and seniors who have displayed remarkable talent in athletics, academics, and community service. Please join me in recognizing these students by contacting your school principal, guidance counselor, or athletic director. The Wendy's High School Heisman competition will be here before you know it. So get that special student nominated today.
Let's get some sleep. Turn off the TV.
Hell no. I'm waiting for the Laker highlights. We're late for work.
Being a bandwagon fan, Ernie was forced to stay up late waiting for scores and highlights of his favorite teams. So Ernie was always tired the next day, and poor Fred paid the price.
Wake up, Ernie. Wake up.
So while Fred has no choice but to put up with teams he doesn't care about, thankfully, you do.
The 265 horsepower, 7-passenger Acura MDX.
Cincinnati Reds baseball on FSN Ohio is brought to you by Beechmont Ford. Easy to find, easy to deal with. Beechmont Ford. Great night at the ballpark. The rain has stopped. A little bit of fireworks, some good pitching, some good defense. The folks with the Red Seas are hoping for a comeback by the Reds again. But so far, the Cardinals have come back to take a 4-3 lead as we go to the bottom of 6. And the nemesis of the St. Louis Red machine, Jim Edmonds, has struck again. A 2-run homer for Edmonds has given St. Louis the lead. Here's Dunn. Will he do it himself? Yes, he will. That's long gone. Done and gone. That's a big-time round tripper. And we are tied again, 4-4. That's a way to answer, huh, Chris? Dunn ties his career high with his 27th homer of the year. Number 99 for his career with Cincinnati. This is what you call your basic no-doubter.
Oh, you're not kidding about that one, George Grant. A first pitch that, you always wonder why the first pitch is one of the best pitches to hit if you're a hitter. You look at the batting averages among major leaguers, all of them, and the batting average on the first pitch is always higher than almost any other count. Adam Dunn finally got a fastball down the middle and gave it a long, long ride.
Take another look, Chris.
Well, Mike Matheny wants it down and away. That ball was away about thigh high, and that's just about where Adam Dunn likes him. If you chart Adam Dunn's home run pitches, he'll get most of them right there. Out over the plate, a little bit above the knee, somewhere between the knee and the waist, and he wastes that one. Special sound too.
Great job, guys. The natural sound of that one tells you all you need to know. Good job, Andy. You can hear it well, and you can feel it as it hits the bat. That reverberated around the ballpark.
Yeah, the Reds needed a boost like that.
Yep. Answer back. Here's Willie Moe, slices it down the right field line. Here comes Sanders. Will he get there? It's in the seats. You got to sit next to the hitters to be a hitter. Juan Castro's learned that. A couple of doubles for Casey, homer for Dunn tonight. The Reds would love for Willie Moe to chime in too. Fox Sports Net welcomes our viewers watching on Adelphia Cable in Coshocton, Ohio, and Insight Communications in Bullitt County, Kentucky. Thanks for watching Reds baseball on Fox Sports Net, and welcome aboard. There goes Willie. Going way back. It's going to be gone. Bob Boom. Willie Moe, number 16 on the year.
Just like that, we talked about what a momentum breaker giving up a home run can be. Dave Duncan, the slow walk to the mound. Tony La Russa went to the phone to get the Cardinal bullpen up, and Willie Mo Pena hits his 16th of the year. And Willie Mo doesn't have to hit him perfectly either. This guy is so incredibly strong. But the ball just keeps going and going and going off his bat. 16 home runs in fewer than 200 at-bats for Willie Mo.
And the Reds are back on top 5-4. Casey, Dunn, and Pena have been the architects of it. We told you before the game that Reggie Jackson, who worked with Willie Mo with the Yankees, sent a message to Willie today. Some of it personal, but the one thing he said was, keep listening to Chris Chambliss, keep going to right, keep going to right. And Willie nodded and smiled. He said that. And here's Reggie. He's the big pull hitter, of course. But Reggie told Willie Mo, you're so strong, stronger than any of us. Go to right. And boy, did he go to right that time. And the last thing he said was, keep listening to your hitting coach, because he'll get you going in the right direction, and Chris sure has.
You know, sometimes going to right doesn't necessarily mean trying to hit the ball to right field. It means being more patient on that pitch that's on the outer part of the plate. And when you do that and you don't try to hook the ball, you'll find that with a guy like Willie Mo, he just has to be a little bit slower getting the ball that's outside. And that bat speed's very much strong enough and quick enough to get it on out of here. Incredible how strong that young man is.
What a breakthrough it's been for him. Vanderwall pops it back and out of play. Kiko Calero is up and loosening in the Cardinal bullpen now. Right-hander up and throwing. So the Reds have backed up their buddy Paul Wilson, who gave up the lead on the Edmonds homer. They've come back with 2 of their own in the 6th. Williams covering. Arlen Anderson tosses to him, and that's your second out of the inning. Miles away from ordinary from Corona. The Reds' record for most players with 20-plus homers in a season is 5-56. Ed Bailey, Ted Kluszewski, the big guy Bell, Frank Robinson, Wally Post. Add it all up, 5 of them with 20 or more. The Reds right now could very easily duplicate that. There's LaRue to center field, but this will stay in the park. Under it is Edmonds. Willie Mo did it, didn't he? So did Dunn. Add it up, and the Reds have a 5-4 lead.
Introducing Summer Takeoff. Stay at any AmeriSuites or Wellesley Ensign Suites and receive $100 off any airline ticket anytime. So check in and take off.
Introducing a delicious twist on ordinary chicken salad. Arby's Market Fresh Chicken Salad. Try a sandwich, a wrap, or a bowl. One great chicken salad, 3 ways to enjoy it.
Nobody takes it to extremes like Toyota. With financing as low as 0% or big cash back. At your Toyota dealer now through August 2nd.
Here's your light beer.
Miles away from other light beers. Corona Light.
55 KRC is the Tri-States Talk Station. Featuring the biggest names in radio. Like Rush Limbaugh, weekdays noon till 3. Rush and Sean Hannity, 3 till 6. Get Hannitized. In the morning, we've got the information you need to start your day with Jerry Thomas and Craig Cobb. Plus, dependable traffic and weather. Weekdays 5 till 9. 55 KRC is the Talk Station.
A half hour before every Reds game, catch Real Reds on Fox Sports Net. It's in-depth interviews that'll take you way beyond the sports page, expert analysis from the press box, and you'll learn the keys to the game. A half hour before every Reds game, watch Real Reds, presented by Countrywide Home Loans, only on Fox Sports Net.
And don't forget, more Reds baseball will be coming your way right here on FSN Ohio. Cards and the Reds tomorrow. Reds begins at 6:30. Game will follow. The pitching rotation has Corey Lytle going for his 7th win tomorrow against Jason Marquis, who's 10-4. So join us. Woody Williams dishing out his 16th career home run allowed by the Reds. That was the Dunn homer. Then the 17th, Jimenez, and 18th, Pena. So 3 homers by the Reds. That's enough to leave you shaking your head, huh, Chris?
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, the Cardinals are a team that pride themselves in not giving up home runs. They're 8th in the league in home runs given up as a pitching staff. The Reds, as we came into tonight's ball game, 2nd in the league in the most home runs given up behind the Philadelphia Phillies. Well, the Reds are a team that rely a lot on home runs for their offense. This is not a team that does a lot of little ball. So they've looked for the home run ball, and they've gotten it tonight.
Here's Mabry, struck out, bounced out, 0 for 2. So new life for Wilson. Sitting now on 90 pitches for the night. He walks the leadoff hitter here in the 7th, and that means that there'll be some action in the bullpen for the Reds as we're now in the 7th inning, and Wilson's heading towards 100 pitches, and Don Gullett's heading out to the mound. Hey, ever wondered what it'd be like to play in the bigs? Sign up for Reds Baseball Heaven during the Reds week-long adult fantasy camp in sunny Sarasota, February the 5th through the 12th. Anyone 30 and older can suit up with the Reds greats like Nuxall, Browning, Billingham, Bourbon, a whole lot more. For more information on this one-of-a-kind opportunity, call 1-800-755-REDS or visit RedsBaseballHeaven.com. And our high hellos to everyone down in Sarasota, Jeff Maltby and everybody at the Reds facility in Sarasota. February is beautiful down there. It's a little hot and humid and sticky down there right now. They do some great work down there. But nothing better than February in Sarasota.
When you're looking at February in Cincinnati as comparison, you're right about that. 90 pitches on the night for Wilson. A little bit of a breather out there when the sheriff visited him. There's also some time to get the Reds bullpen up and going.
Here's Matheny. Could it be 6-6-3? Yes, sirree. Double play. You say don't hit it to Edmonds if you're a Red. If you're a Cardinal, don't hit it to this guy, Chris.
Well, especially right there. That is DP lane all the way. Easy play for Juan Castro as he's able to go over, field the ball, step on the bag nearly simultaneously, and avoid the sliding John Mabry. So just like that, it looked like Paul Wilson was into a jam, and a ground ball bails him out.
With Williams due up, his night is over here in the 7th. Luna will pinch it for him. Hector Luna, the Rule 5 selectee infielder, will pinch it for him in the 7th. So Williams' night is done. He allows the Reds 5 runs on 5 hits, and he exits on the short end of a 5-4 score. Wilson now at 91 pitches. Wilson leaves after 100. Williams leaves after 106 pitches on the night in his 6 innings of work. 6 innings, 5 runs, 5 hits for Woody Williams. Here's Luna on the year, 253, 333 against the Reds. 0-2. Paul Wilson is due to lead off when we go to the bottom of the 7th, and they're still throwing in the bullpen for Cincinnati. That's wide, and it's 1-2. Hey, you want to get more out of every day? Then drink new Pepsi Edge. Full flavor and 50% less sugar and carbs. Reward yourself. Drink Pepsi Edge. What do you do, Chris? Here we are. We're in the top of inning number 7. Wilson due to lead off as we go to the bottom of the inning. He's got a 5-4 lead. You know the story of the Reds blowing 4 of their last 7 save opportunities, 11 of their last 19. Williams around the 100 pitch mark. This is where managers earn their living and get their ulcers, huh?
Yeah, you're right about that. We're going to find out exactly what Dave Miley's going to do when we come back.
Great job by Wilson. Reds lead at 5-4. We'll have the answer to that question when we return.
Introducing IMAX, a half hour of sports news like never before.
That void in sports news is now filled.
Diverse guests, smart analysis, and challenging questions.
It's just my opinion, but I'm right.
IMAX with Max Kellerman. Smart, funny, and always opinionated. Tonight on FSN.
Totally NASCAR, the only source that puts the racing fan in tune with what's happening on and around the track. With expert analysis, racing insights, and the latest reports from the winner's circle. Your all-access pass to everything that is NASCAR. Totally NASCAR. Weeknights on FSN.
This summer, the Fast Lane is under new ownership. Catch the most thrilling performance of the season, Pontiac Summer Drive. Now get $2,000 cash back on a 2004 Vibe. And non-GM owners and lessees can get into a new Vibe starting under $14,200. The performance of the year, the ride of a lifetime. Visit TriStatePontiacDealers.com.
Time for your Chrysler game summary. 5-5-0 for Cincinnati, 4-5-0 for the Cardinals. Jimenez has a homer. For D'Angelo, his 355-foot shot is 7th of the year. In the 6th inning, the Reds, who had the lead and lost it, retook it after a Dunn homer. Adams' career high tying 27, and a Pena homer, his career high 16th homer. Edmonds on the other side, 2 for 3, double, and another home run against Cincinnati, the 20th of his career. Added up, Reds have a 5-4 lead. And here comes Paul Wilson. There's the answer to your question, Chris. Wilson will hit.
I got to figure that Paul Wilson probably had a little input on this decision. You know, Dave Miley's got to be reluctant going to the bullpen because the bullpen has let him down. Wilson's got to be a guy that has confidence in himself, even though it hasn't been easy for him tonight. Been one of those struggling kind of nights, but boy, he's shown you why he's been able to keep the team in the ball game nearly every time he takes them out.
That's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Kiko Calero in to take over for Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan. Here's Calero's numbers on the season. Been very reliable. This has been a great bullpen for the Cardinals, from the long man Cal Eldred all the way down to the two spectacular lefties, Klein and King, and the closer Isringhausen. Everyone has done their job, and it's been one of the reasons why the Cardinals are where they are. Swing and a miss. Wilson's retired. Time for our Geico Direct moment of the night. Pressure time for the Reds. John Vanderwall to start tonight talks about pressure on the Reds and the need to win.
Well, I believe there's always a sense of urgency. It's just that now we're not playing that well, and we're running into teams that have been playing phenomenal. Pittsburgh playing some of the best baseball that I've seen in a long time, along with the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been playing well, so we need to turn it up a notch. We've got a week here that we've got the Cardinals for 3, and then we've got the Astros, and we need to win, bottom line.
Simplest way to say it, huh?
No doubt about that. There was a time this year that he probably didn't think he'd be in a position to say that. His knee injury, very severe over the winter. Didn't think probably he'd be coming back as soon as he did. Glad to see him. It took a lot of hard work to get him back here. But that said, George, I got to ask you, is John Vanderwall the type of player, maybe there's a team in contention that could use a solid, experienced, good bat off the bench, and John Vanderwall obviously falls into that category.
No doubt about it. He is one of the premier pinch hitters in the game. And for a team that is heading to the postseason and needs someone like that, and that's a kind of deal that may come the end of August, not the end of July. I mean, right now everybody's looking for pitching and for that one piece of the puzzle. And the other part of it is, Chris, I think people want to see how good is the knee. Can he play the outfield? Can he play first on a semi-regular basis and pinch hit too? So, I mean, certainly he is one of those players that would be on a lot of wish lists Friel fouls it off. And the Reds have been blessed this year. When Vanderwall went down, Jacob Cruz won a spot, and boy, he's been brilliant. He's been leading the league in pinch hits all season long. He's been outstanding. There's Felipe Lopez. You see number 2 back in a Reds uniform. He came up to take the spot of Jason Romano, who's on the DL. And we wish Jason the best. Of course, if you joined us late, Jason will undergo surgery on his hamstring tomorrow. Dr. Timothy Kremchek up a little bit earlier chatting with us in the booth, and we wish him the best. He's still a young player, and he's a hard worker. For a guy that relies on speed, we look for him to come back strong. Friel bounces out. 6-3 put out, 2 away, and here's Castro. Introducing a new delicious twist on ordinary chicken salad. Arby's Market Fresh Chicken Salad. Try a sandwich, a wrap, or a bowl. One great chicken salad, 3 ways to enjoy it now at Arby's. So Calero gets the first 2 of the 7th, and here's Juan Castro. 2 walks. He walked in the first, scored on the double by Casey. Casey scored on the homer by Jimenez. Reds had a 3-0 lead. Big swing from Juan. Jones loosening in the Reds bullpen. So it appears, we know that Wilson will go out to start inning number 8, but Jones will be ready. It won't be a question of waiting a few batters. Albert Pujols there. He's got it. The Reds go 1-2-3 in the 7th. We are heading to inning number 8. Pujols due up third when we return.
I'm a Ford truck man. That's all I drive.
Every Ford truck man knows the next F-150 is the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and that Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck 27 years running. And now F-150 Heritage comes with up to $5,000 cash or 0% APR for 60 months. Ford F-150. Get the truck. Be the man.
Ain't no doubt my king on the mountains built Ford tough. I'm a Ford truck man.
Well, hello. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Introducing the Sports List
with Summer Sanders.
The new show that counts down anything in the world of sports.
The Sports List, weeknights on FSN.
Hi, I'm Lauren Williams at the all-new Beachmont Ford, where you'll find the guaranteed lowest prices on the largest selection of used cars in Greater Cincinnati. We have all makes and all models, and prices and payments to meet your budget as low as $29.95. You'll find 25 cars always under $200 a month. Credit problems? No problem. You'll get guaranteed financing at Beachmont Ford. Exit number 65 off I-275. You'll see us on Beachmont Avenue. Beachmont Ford, your 5-time President's Award winner.
Tonight on the best damn sports show, period, Mike Tyson on his upcoming return to the ring. Plus, former Vikings running back Robert Smith on Ricky Williams and Williams agent Lee Steinberg. Tonight at 11.
Changes for the Reds. John Vanderwall out of the game. Felipe Lopez will enter the game in his spot, 7th in the order. Lopez just called up today. Ryan Friel goes from 3rd to center field. So Friel now is in center field. Ryan Friel, your center fielder. The rest of the changes for the Reds means that Castro moves from short to 3rd, and William Opeña moves from center to right. So it's Dunn, Friel, Peña in the outfield. In the infield, Castro at 3rd, Lopez at short, Jimenez at 2nd, Casey at 1st, LaRue still behind the plate. Here's Marlon Anderson, 0 for 3. Line drive, ground ball, fly ball.
So the movement the Reds have made has all been for defensive purposes. That's where you miss Jason Romano. That was the main reason they brought Jason up, is because he could come in and spell very good defense in the outfield late in the ball game.
And of course, that's why you missed Austin Kearns and Ken Griffey Jr. and
Well,
Barry
yeah, well,
Larkin.
obviously.
That's the state of things right now, isn't it? 1 and 2. Slap foul. On the scoreboard in the Central Division, Atlanta's leading Pittsburgh 4-2 in the 5th. How about Bobby Cox and the Braves? Everybody was counting them out. No more. They're very much alive in the East. Astros trailing Arizona 2-0 in the 5th. Milwaukee and the Cubs scoreless in the 4th. Slap foul again. Florida Marlins are leading Philadelphia 6-3 in the 6th inning. Montreal 12 and the Mets 5 in the 6th. Dodgers and Colorado scoreless in the 2nd. San Francisco, San Diego to come. Got him. Anderson will argue, and he's been tossed. Now remember, this is the umpiring crew that had the fights up in Boston. They took charge last night. Hunter Wendelstadt sent out a warning in the first inning of a ball game between the Yankees and Red Sox. Mike Winters, as soon as the demonstrative effort by Anderson is reacted with the slam of the bat, he's gone. Never win those arguments, do you?
Well, yeah, there wasn't much of an argument right there. I think as soon as he slammed his bat down, it's kind of the same as throwing your equipment. You're almost going to get tossed every time that way.
He had two choices: the slam in the bat, or we don't know what he said, but if it was one of those
like
7 precious words.
I like the Bo Jackson approach of breaking the bat over your head.
Yeah, there's only one Bo Jackson. So a strikeout in and out for Wilson. And here's Renteria. 0 for 3 on this night for Edgar.
Well, you know, Paul Wilson talked Dave Miley into leaving him in there, but here's what you play with. When you've got Paul Wilson, first time through the lineup, opponent batting average 212. Then it goes up to 272. Third time, 294. The fourth time, which we don't see, and that's where we are right now in the lineup, it's over 400.
Loop to right. Here comes Willie Moe. Got it. 2 away.
So Wilson's making good on his promise to be able to turn it up a notch in order to keep these Cardinals from threatening here in the 8th.
Hey, the Reds are rallying around the family on Saturday, July 31st during Reach Magazine Family Day presented by Captain D's. All families enjoy half-price non-premium tickets when the head of household pays full price in advance of game day. Fun day for everybody. Reach Magazine Family Day presented by Captain D's on Saturday. Here's Albert. Pujols bounced out, flied out, walked. Well, Paul Wilson, you know his numbers. He has 9 victories coming in. The Reds have 5 blown saves behind him, so he could have 14 very easily. What's even more impressive is the fact that 12 of his 19 starts for Paul Wilson have come after a loss, and in those games he's 6-1. So he's been the stopper, and he's demonstrated the willingness to take the Reds on his shoulders. Trying to do that tonight, give the Reds a very much needed, not just quality start, but life-saving start. 3-0. That's a strike. Whenever a Pujols or Rolen and Edmonds come to the plate in a 1-run game, you got a lot of things to consider. There is no perfect way to pitch any of these 3 players. I mean, we've talked about it a lot. We've asked other pitching coaches, other hitting coaches, how do you pitch Albert Pujols? And nobody has an answer. You got to keep moving it around. There is no one game plan. No way you can get out Albert.
Yeah, you know, he gets himself out, and what you do is you give him the best opportunity possible to get himself out. You make quality pitches, and you're right, you move it around and do that.
Guess what? Tie ball game again. Sir Albert with 5 on his back, ties this game at 5. There's your simple reason why the Cardinals are oh so tough.
They just keep coming at you and keep coming at you. And Albert Pujols on track for an MVP season.
For Pujols, 29th homer of the year, 73 runs batted in, and that sends Dave Miley out of the dugout to the mound. Wilson leaves it all on the field on this night. 112 pitches. The last one is the one he'd like to have back. The 5-4 lead evaporates. We're tied at 5. Here comes Todd Jones. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Skyline Chili, the official chili of the Cincinnati Reds.
This summer, the Fast Lane is under new ownership. Catch the most thrilling performance of the season, Pontiac Summer Drive. Now get $2,000 cash back on a 2004 Vibe. And non-GM owners and lessees can get into a new Vibe starting under $14,200. The performance of the year, the ride of a lifetime. Visit TriStatePontiacDealers.com.
After my divorce, I was faced with dating again, and I wondered if women would still find me attractive. I've been dating a whole lot now, and I've really noticed a difference. Girls pay a lot of attention to me.
Hello, I'm Dr. John Parker. Hair loss is an all too common problem, but finally there's good news.
The Parker solution to hair loss?
No, I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Another dagger from Pujols, Chris.
You know, your 3-2 pitch, and Paul Wilson just tried to maybe fool him with a changeup, it looked like right there, but the ball was up. And Albert Pujols looking to go yard, does exactly that with 2 out in the 8th inning. Good effort by Paul Wilson, but he'll leave the ball game as another no decision.
The Reds on this night, home runs from Jimenez, Dunn, and Pena. The Cardinals against Wilson, home runs by Rolen, Edmonds, and Pujols. So homers have been a big part of this game so far, and we're all tied. With 2 away, there's a bouncer to short. Jones needs only 1 pitch to get out of the inning, but the 1 pitch to Pujols has changed the complexion of this one. We're tied at 5 going to the bottom of 8th. The Reds will try to play comeback.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner and proud spokesman for the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. Each year, Wendy's and Fox Sports Net team up to find the best high school juniors and seniors who have displayed remarkable talent in athletics, academics, and community service. Please join me in recognizing these students by contacting your school principal, guidance counselor, or athletic director. The Wendy's High School Heisman competition will be here before you know it. So get that special student nominated today.
Start your Sunday with NASCAR This Morning, the only pre-race show that puts you on track with up-to-the-minute standings, interviews, and in-depth analysis you won't find anywhere else.
And we'll see who can pull it off this afternoon.
You're okay, bud. Great job, man.
NASCAR This Morning, Sunday on FSN.
The last of the 04s have arrived. It's Chevy's model year-end event. Now get $4,000 cash back on select 2004 Chevy Silverado models. See your Tri-State Chevy dealer or visit TriStateChevyDealers.com.
Whether you like Jack Daniels mixed, straight, or on the rocks, there's really only one way to drink it. Responsibly.
NASCAR This Morning, the only pre-race show that puts you on track with up-to-the-minute standings, interviews, and in-depth analysis you won't find anywhere else. NASCAR This Morning, Sunday on FSN.
Storyline update for you tonight. Stop the 5-game losing streak. Reds had a lead twice. They've given it up, trying to find a way to get a new one tonight. 3 runs in the first, trailed 4-3 after the top of the 6th. Solo homer by Dunn, other by Pena. Gave the Reds a lead, and then the homer by Pujols has tied it at 5. So it's lefty against lefty. Here's one of the 2 dynamic lefties that the Cardinals bring to town, Ray King and this guy, Steve Klein.
Yeah, he's got about the best 1-2 left-handed punch in the league. Tony La Russa does, and Steve Klein is part of that.
Oh, wait a minute. We got Welsh and Nuxall in the broadcast booth.
I mean, Welsh and Grant, and Brenneman's a lefty too, so we got the best 1-2 3-4 punch up here.
We're talking about pitchers, though. Here's Casey. Does it make a difference with Casey? Not really. Against left-handers, 339, right-handers, 344. Klein against Casey. That's a bouncer down to Pujols. Albert will tap the bag, and there's one away. So Klein wins this battle. This is where they try to pitch Casey, Chris.
Well, if you're a left-handed pitcher, you have a fastball that normally runs into a left-hander. And that's why lefties have that advantage over left-handed hitters, also because, of course, they have the breaking ball that goes away from them. But most teams have tried to pitch Sean Casey inside, and when the Cardinals have gotten Casey out, they've done that. Been able to get right in the kitchen.
Here's Adam Dunn, who homered earlier. Casey, of course, had the 2 doubles. Casey now 2 for 24 against Klein, and Dunn also has struggled against this guy. Dunn 3 for 12 and a homer against Steve Klein. Jimenez on deck, the switch hitter, will turn around bat from the right side. And again, they pound him in. He drills it foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. There are those numbers. Dunn against Klein. I mean, some teams will have right-handers that can get left-handers out. Others will have 1 pretty good left-hander, but in this day and age, very seldom do you get 2 left-handers that consistently get left-handers out. And another right-hander, meaning Isringhausen, who can get left-handers out too.
And that's why those who watch baseball feel like this Cardinal ball club, the way it's come along this year, not only are they making a pretty good run to the pennant, but they feel like they're pretty well set in postseason play.
Rolen got it in the air. The Gold Glover, who was shifted wide of the bag, still was able to get down on his knee and pull this one in. Take a look.
A little squibbing ball coming off the end of the bat, and there's the Gold Glover. I told you I wasn't going to buy that stuff about his knee barking. Pretty good reaction on that. You know it hurts. He's just not going to show it.
Yep. 2 away. Here's D'Angelo. He homered from the left side in the first. Line to second. Bounce to the pitcher. The homer is 7th of the year. Showing bunt. It'll go foul. Why not? With Willie Moe on deck, huh?
Well, for one reason, you want to get Willie Moe up there because you want to see if Tony La Russa will be forced into a decision about going to the bullpen again. Yeah, he's got Steve Klein, and he can get right-handers out all right, but does he feel as comfortable against Willie Moe as he would bringing in a right-handed pitcher? That's why it's important here if D'Angelo Jimenez can reach base.
And from the personal part of the equation, Jimenez is 0 for 8 against Klein, so why not? I mean, I haven't had any success swinging a bat, right? Let me try to dump one down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Loop to right. Reggie Sanders there. That'll do it. So Klein does his job in the 8th inning. We're going to 9. This is a game up for grabs. Edmonds will lead it off.
Everyone serves dip at parties, so we thought we'd bring the party to the dip. These party coordinators from Events, etc. are sampling Gold Star Chili Cheese Dip. What's in there?
We have cream cheese here, and chili, and lots of cheddar cheese.
What do you think about this as an appetizer?
I think it'd be great as an appetizer.
Very good.
It's delicious.
Fantastic.
I've been making this for so long, I didn't know you could get it in a restaurant.
There you have it. Party hardy with chili cheese dip at Gold Star Chili.
Gold Star. The taste is taking over.
Introducing Summer Takeoff. Stay at any AmeriSuites or Wellesley Ensign Suites and receive $100 off any airline ticket anytime. So check in and take off. For details, visit summertakeoff.com.
You didn't see them here. You didn't see them here. You didn't see them over the years as they trained, practiced, and worked to become America's finest high school baseball players. But you can see them here. The Aflac All-American High School Baseball Classic, August 8th on Fox Sports Net.
Tonight on the best damn sports show, period, Mike Tyson on his upcoming return to the ring. Plus, former Vikings running back Robert Smith on Ricky Williams and Williams agent Lee Steinberg. Tonight at 11.
Here are the numbers on Todd Jones, Chris, and boy, does he have his work cut out for him. Here comes Edmonds, so the decision for Dave Miley to leave the right-hander Jones in to face the left-handed swinging Jim Edmonds. Edmonds 3 for 9 and a homer against Todd Jones.
You know, you wonder at what point with bullpen failure when Dave Miley will begin to go more matchup by matchup, lefty versus lefty, righty versus righty. But he feels a lot of confidence in Jones and Graves, and you have to.
Scooped by Casey on the throw by Lopez. Edmonds arguing. So's Dave McKay, and here comes Tony La Russa. I don't know, by the naked eye, it looked like he was safe, but let's take a look. We'll see if it's Tim Timmons' correct call. Is he out? Is he safe?
Not even close.
Yep. Well, Edmonds did the right thing. He said to McKay, you better argue or else I'm going to get thrown out.
I'll tell you one thing, there have got to be a whole lot of St. Louis Cardinal fans in this ballpark tonight because the reaction of that call, that sounded like they were jeering the umpire.
Now La Russa's put his 2 cents in. He won't win it. I tell you, what do you feel like if you're this umpiring crew after what you went through for 3 days in New York? Every other inning, something was happening.
Oh, this is simply a bad call. Yeah. I mean, you can feel anything you want. Those two teams simply got out of control in Boston, the Yankees and the Red Sox. But this is, I don't know how you missed that. Well, you're human, and sometimes it happens. So write it off and go on.
Edmonds not on. That means there's one out, and here comes Reggie Sanders. So the lefty-righty matchup worked okay on step 1. And here is the right-handed swinging Reggie Sanders. The left-handed swinging John Mabry is due up after this. Broken bat, pop up. It'll be in the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. Reggie tonight, sacrifice fly, knocked in a run, and struck out twice looking. You look for the good and the bad of this Reds bullpen. There's been a lot of good. Jones has been one of the positives of this 2004 season. He's been either 1, 2, or 3 in holds all year long in the National League. He's been great helping Graves in that role. There's a liner, scooped. Can he make the play? He does. Well, D'Angelo's had a dandy night tonight. Started with a line drive catch, and the most recent is this play. Great play by Jimenez.
Well, the Reds defense overall has been superlative tonight. D'Angelo Jimenez especially making a play right there. That ball scalded off the bat of Reggie Sanders, and he stays with it and makes the out.
And a good call by the first base umpire that time. Very close, but he got him. So here's Mabry. Strikeout, ground out, and a walk. Mabry on the year, 6 homers. So you got to be careful with him. Against Jones, he's 3 for 5, no homers. Last time the Reds and Cardinals will play until late August. So Dave Miley wants to do everything he can to try to get the ship righted and beat the first place team. Left center hit pretty good. Free a long run towards the wall. It's off the wall. Mabry rolling into second. He'll have a 2-base hit. He missed a homer by about 8 feet. Well, the go-ahead runs at second, and here's Matheny. No one throwing in the bullpen for Cincinnati.
Well, he really hit that ball well. John Mabry, he's a pretty big guy. You don't realize how big and strong he is. 6 homers on the year, nearly gets number 7 right there. Not all that bad of a pitch by Todd Jones. He just goes down to get it. Does it seem like the ball carries better when you have a little mist in the air like it does?
We'll have to get Daddy Wags out on that statistic to see if
that ball just kept going and going.
It did. Looked like it was left center about midway, and that just kept carrying. Here's Matheny, also 3 for 5 for his career against Todd Jones.
Played with a somewhat eccentric teammate who once said that in a rain situation like this, when it's either raining or when it's really heavy humidity and fog in the air, the ball will go farther because there's more hydrogen in the air than oxygen, you know, with the H2O content.
That wasn't Mickey Rivers, was it? No.
No, but he would probably have said that given the opportunity if he knew what it was. If he knew what H2O actually was, he would have said that. Mick the Quick.
That's right. He's the best.
I doubt that you can go through a Hall of Fame weekend without some Yankee people bringing up Mick Quick stories.
Everybody, every year. Yesterday was no difference. The Yankee guys were telling Mickey Rivers stories day after day in every ballpark. You know they're there. No balls, 2 strikes. Jones trying to get out of this jam with the potential go-ahead run at second. Matheny digs in. Isringhausen, Tavares loosening for Tony La Russa. If they get the lead, Isringhausen comes in. If not, it'll be Tavares. Tony Womack, who entered the game at second last inning, is in the on-deck circle in the 9th spot. Right back to Jones. He'll knock it down. There won't be a play. It'll be 1st and 3rd. Slapped off the bottom of his glove. It'll be a base hit for Matheny. Now the go-ahead runs down at 3rd.
On this wet grass, you have no chance unless nothing but luck in order to just try to grab a ball like that. It's hit fairly sharply right back up the middle. You're only about 54, 53 feet away from home plate by the time you finish your windup up. And that ball hits that grass and just takes off. So you throw your glove down there. You hope you're able to glove it.
And now is double trouble. It's a tie ball game. Wet grass. One of the best bunters in baseball. He's every year 1 or 2 in bunt hits and infield hits in the National League. He slaps at that. Knocks it foul for strike 1. So Castro has to be wary of it. So Castro's in at 3rd. Casey holds the runner at 1st. So many problems come to the plate when Tony Womack steps into the batter's box. He could slap it past the 3rd baseman. He could still drop a bunt down, not just with 1 strike. He'll drop a bunt down with 2 strikes. There's a breaking ball. He locked him up. Great pitch by Jones. Oh, it's 0-2.
A very slow curveball. Unusual grip by Todd Jones. Kind of a mongrel knuckle curve, and he takes a lot off of it and drops it in on the outside corner.
Setting up away. That's hit towards short. Lopez goes to second. They get the out. Wet ball, wet grass. Nice play by Felipe. The potential go-ahead run stranded at 3rd. We're still tied at 5. The Reds will try to do some business in the bottom of 9.
This summer, the
plane is under new ownership. Catch the most thrilling performance of the season, Pontiac Summer Drive. Now choose big cash back or lease a 2004 Grand Am SE solid value for around $192 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. The performance of the year, the ride of a lifetime. Visit TriStatePontiacDealers.com.
Alamo Electronics, providing the best in cutting-edge home entertainment. Alamo showcases the brands you know, offering high-definition and digital television, flat screen, plasma, LCD, big screen, and projection TVs. Let Alamo show you contemporary custom installation ideas. Those who know and appreciate quality home entertainment electronics shop at Alamo. Not to pay more, but to get more. Alamo Electronics, 9572 Montgomery Road in Montgomery.
You know, stuff pops up all through the month. There are bills, of course, groceries, and even the unexpected, like a car repair. Sometimes you're left with more month than money. When that happens, check out Cashland for a 21-day loan. You get the big cash, up to $500, and a free extra week to pay it back. Have more money in your month and more time to pay it back. Get a 21-day loan from the friendly folks at Cashland. Call Cashland today.
Don't forget, coming up after Reds baseball tonight, Jim Day, JD will be on the case. Gold Star Chili Reds wrap will be coming your way. We'll wrap this one up, tie it up with a ribbon for you. Gold Star Chili Reds wrap after the game tonight on FSN Ohio. Hey, remember last year, the initials Cardinal appearance at Great American Ballpark? Aaron Boone, walk-off homer. The Reds swept the 4-game series against the Cardinals. Barry Larkin, big-time off the DL homer, Chris, and those are two of the greatest moments of this first season at Great American Ballpark against St. Louis.
Saw some great photographs in the newspapers of the greeting party at home plate when those guys came around third base. Magic moments at this ballpark, no question about it.
A walk-off mania was the story for last year. For Willie Moe, in the 6th inning, Adam Dunn homers. For Dunn, his 99th career homer as a Red. Willie Moe, what did he do? He doubled one up to right center field. His 16th of the year. That came after a Jimenez homer early, so the Reds have 3 homers. The Cardinals have 3 homers. That ties the all-time record at Great American for a game, 6 home runs. 5th time it's happened. Here's Julian Tavares.
He's a tough right-hander. He's got a good fastball and a nice slider, and he's in here to try to neutralize the right-handed hitting Willie Moe Pena. I have to figure that Tony La Russa a little more concerned about Pena than the man on deck, Felipe Lopez, at this point.
Pena 1 for 3 against Tavares. Off the end of the bat, foul. Willie Moe tonight bounced to third, flied to left, and that homer that went to right center, his 16th of the year. Last week's player of the week in the National League. And he was one of the few bright spots for the Reds on the road trip, an 0-5 road trip. 2 losses at Chicago, 3 at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you know, Tavares has been around. He's an experienced relief pitcher. He knows his way around the block a little bit, and he knows that Willie Moe Pena can turn on or drive any kind of fastball out of the yard. He's not going to give him a fastball in the strike zone. And he hasn't given him a fastball yet. It's been slider, change up.
Willie Moe's proven to everybody he can hit a fastball, and he's starting to hit some breaking balls and off-speed pitches, but still those that get him out will try those pitches. Slider down and away, and it's 2-2. And Willie Moe will tell you, a year ago he would have swung at both of those. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs in the 9th. Down to third. Rolen. Got him. 1 away. What great. Watch Scott Rolen. If you look at the way he does it, he positioned himself perfectly, so he knew Pena was running fast. He made a bullet throw. Here's
take a look at the comparison between the St. Louis bullpen and the Reds bullpen so far this year. 3-1 versus 1-4. This is head-to-head, of course. But the slugging percentage, on-base percentage, and batting average, boy, advantage Cardinals right there, because the Reds haven't stacked up. 7 home runs allowed by the Reds bullpen, only 1 given up by the Cardinal bullpen this year.
Here's Felipe, the switch hitter, up for the first time, hitting in the 7th spot in the order. Lopez activated today, called up from Louisville, with Jason Romano put on the disabled list. For the Reds this year, he's at 152, no homers, 5 knocked in. 75 games at Louisville, 273, had 9 homers and 44 knocked in. Womack tracks it down and throws him out. 2 away, and here comes LaRue. Here's Jason. Strikeout, walk, and a fly ball out. 11-game hitting streak on the line. We're in the 9th, tied at 5. That one misses. Ball 1 to Jason. LaRue against Tavares, 1 for 9, no homers in his career. Ray King loosening in the bullpen for St. Louis. Fastball beats him. Little giddy up at 93 miles an hour.
Dangerous place to pitch Jason LaRue up there. If you chart his home runs, you'll notice that most of those have come on pitches above his waist, and most of them fastballs.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tavares locked up, LaRue locked up, and they all looked at Mike Winters. No call.
Well, Mike Matheny is set well outside. He really moves his body around a lot. Moves inside, moves outside. I'm not so sure that convinces an umpire the ball is a strike.
3-2. That got him. LaRue takes it looking. Second strikeout for LaRue on this day. 1-2-3 for Tavares in the 9th. We're going extras, in Cincinnati tied at 5.
You've been waiting all year for this moment to arrive. The one and only clearance going on now at your Lincoln Mercury dealer. Get model year-end savings on everything, including Mercury Grand Marquis, the highest ranked full-size car in initial quality. Now get no charge leather seating and 0% APR or $4,000 cash back, plus an additional $1,000 Ford credit cash on Grand Marquis. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now.
And we are dancing, and you're dangerous, near me. I get ideas. I get ideas. And after we have kissed goodnight, still you linger.
Rico moves your ideas forward.
I think you get ideas too.
I'm a Ford truck man, that's all I drive.
Every Ford truck man knows the next F-150 is the 2004 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and that Ford F-150 is the best-selling truck 27 years running. And now F-150 Heritage comes with up to $5,000 cash or 0% APR for 60 months. Ford F-150. Get the truck. Be the man.
Ain't no doubt my king on the mountains built Ford tough. I'm a Ford truck man.
Hey, let's take you behind the scenes to Reds baseball. That guy on the screen right there is Jamie Ramsey. He's in the Reds PR department. Jaime, happy birthday. Birthday number 28 for Jamie Ramsey. One of the guys that really helps everybody out, not just all of us here at FSN Ohio, but radio, TV, print media.
And he's not smiling only because it's his birthday either. The guy smiles all the time.
Yep.
Smiles so much it kind of makes me nervous.
Especially when you walk away and you're looking for your wallet.
That is a guy that we'd like to have him make us smile a little bit tonight, looking for a chance to win a ball game. Is Danny Graves. Not a save opportunity, not when you're playing here at home in extra innings.
They're all calling him now.
All the authorities that are watching the game tonight.
I thought he was on prison release. He didn't check in this week. All right, here we go. Extra innings at Great American Ballpark. Roger Cedeno pinch hitting, lines it to center. Here comes Friel. He's got it, one away. So Cedeno pinch hits for Tavares. And Chris, you pointed to those bullpen numbers. Danny Graves will try to match a Cardinal bullpen that's been great. Tonight, for the Cardinal bullpen, Calero, Klein, Tavares, 3 innings, 2 strikeouts, no hits. Reds led it 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. Cardinals took a 4-3 lead. Reds took a 5-4 lead. Pujols tied it with a homer in the 8th, 5, and that's where we are. There have been some homers hit on this date in Reds history. 1970, Johnny Bench. That was the day he played left field. Started against Steve Carlton. Hit 3 home runs. Reds won a big game against Carlton that day. And you know, talk about Cooperstown. Every year you go up there, and when the conversation starts, JB, when it gets down to crunch time, he'll bring up the 3 homers he hit against lefty.
Oh, no doubt. In fact, that was on this day, of course, in 1970. You know what the Reds' record was that year through the first 100 games? You think the Cardinals have gotten off to a good start with 61 wins? The Reds were 70-30.
That ain't bad, huh? The date was kind to JB as well. In 78, he hit his 300th home run on this date. July the 26th.
Let's go back another 10 years and let you know that 40 years ago today was when Tony Perez made his debut as a Cincinnati Red.
So some good numbers for this date. That's a bullet to short. Lopez bounces up, a rifle. It is high, and Casey can't get down on the bag. Renteria will be safe.
Well, Felipe makes a nice play on that ball. You got to remember that Renteria is hustling down the line, and he's got a strong arm. Lopez does. If that ball is down, he's out, because it lifts Casey off the bag, though. He can't quite get down in time.
They will charge Felipe Lopez with an error. So Renteria's on. That means Pujols comes to the plate. Albert, last time up, hit his 29th homer of the year, his 73rd run batted into the year, his 19th homer in his career against Cincinnati. He's looking at Jose Aquindo, who rolls through some signs. Renteria has stolen 11, been caught 4 times. Tony La Russa sends the runner. That's a bouncer. It'll avoid a double play. They'll get the out at first, so Renteria goes to second. You get into late innings and extra innings with Tony La Russa, very often when you get a base runner on, he'll do something. Not always the orthodox thing, sometimes the unorthodox, but he'll try to put people in motion. He'll try to put pressure on the defense. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but as La Russa tells you, no guts, no glory. If you don't take a chance, your chances of success diminish.
Well, you know, when you're playing on the road in extra innings, the odds are against you. The home team has a definite advantage, at least if you look over the history of baseball. So sometimes with a hitter like that, who you know is going to make contact, a little run and hit may make some sense, especially given the fact that Albert Pujols is an extra base hitting machine. And if you put the runner in motion who is as swift as Edgar Renteria, a double scores him, and now all of a sudden you're in a commanding position.
Well, Danny Graves got his work cut out here. Here's Rolen. Today, a double, a homer, robbed of a hit on a nice play by the third baseman Friel, and bounced to short. Go-ahead runs out at second. That's hit hard. Lopez has it. This time his throw is on the bag, and they'll get out of the inning. Casey had to look and see where the runner was as the throw drifted to the home plate side, but he makes the play. Still tied at 5. To the bottom of 10 we go.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner and proud spokesman for the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. Each year, Wendy's and Fox Sports Net team up to find the best high school juniors and seniors who have displayed remarkable talent in athletics, academics, and community service. Please join me in recognizing these students by contacting your school principal, guidance counselor, or athletic director. The Wendy's High School Heisman competition will be here before you know it. So get that special student nominated today.
Approachable,
loyal,
faithful, trustworthy, objective, committed.
These are just a few of the leadership qualities that teens look for from their peers. At Teen Life Coalition, we work with local high school students to build not only awareness, but respect and understanding for the sanctity of human life.
We here at JTM know that the key to success is service to others. JTM Food Group, where service is success.
Only one full-size pickup is engineered with automatic rear locking differential. And it's not the new Ford F-150. It's the GMC Sierra. It puts more traction where you need it. Get a specially equipped Sierra half-ton extended cab 4x4 with option packages and get a $2,500 discount. Add the discount to cash back for a total value of $6,500. Upgrade to professional grade. Summer Drive, only at your tri-state GMC dealers.
Only 36 innings this year for Cal Eldred. He's one of the middle relievers, now pressed into duty in extra innings. A right-hander with a .491 earned run average. He's got good control, only 11 walks, but he has given up 9 home runs in those 30 appearances. And he's setting out to face a pinch hitter and then the top of the lineup.
Eldred's the guy who will be your long guy, and then on a night like this, he might be a guy that could go 2-3 innings if you need it late in the ball game, especially when you go extras. He'll get faced by Jacob Cruz, pinch hitting this season. Jake has been great. His numbers overall impressive, and specifically he's come up with some key hits as well. Cruz 11 for 34 at that .324, second in the major leagues right now in pinch hits, and second in batting average. Bobby Hill leads the majors with 12 after picking up another pinch hit against Cincinnati this past weekend. So Jake, 1 ball, 1 strike, trying to find a way to get the Reds rolling here in the 10th inning. Cruz hitting in the 9th spot in the order in pinch hitting. Friel and Castro due to follow. Eldred, 31st appearance. He's pitched 36 innings. Tough role to fill, but he does it well. Might not pitch for 4, 5, 6 days and then called upon to help. Popped up. Matheny over, and he's got it. So Cruz retired, 1 away, and here comes the top of the order, Ryan Friel. Well, tie ball game, 10th inning. The prospects of Friel dropping a bunt down here are far greater than any time tonight. He'll take a peek at the infield. Remember, it's been raining all night off and on, so the grass is wet. All he has to do is get a bunt down. Not a great bunt, Chris. He's got a pretty good chance of getting on.
Yeah, you wonder though which way he would like to bunt the ball. Ideally, you bunt at the first base and not the third base, because Scott Rolen is a pretty good fielder down there, to say the least, and he would increase his chances by bunting it to first base, but I've not seen Ryan push the bunt very often. He's usually a guy that likes to dump it down the third baseline. Pujols is playing a couple of steps deeper than is Rolen.
Friel tonight popped out, flied out, struck out, ground out, 0 for 4. Shows bunt, holes on it. And very alertly, he looked at first, looked at third when he popped back up. Rolen had started to charge. Pujols never moved. Does that tell him drop it down the first base line if he's going to do it this time? He's questioned a couple of calls, not by voice, but by shrugs like that tonight. And that puts him in a hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The center base hit. He gets on anyways. Now we talked about the Hall of Fame, Chris, and now we need a Hall of Fame base running effort by the little guy at first. If it's Joe Morgan or Davey Concepcion, they steal it when you need it. That's in a tie ball game and late.
Well, it's not an easy tandem to try to steal a base on. That is for certain, because Mike Matheny, one of the better pitchers or catchers around, and being able to throw runners out. This is a 1-2 pitch, a little bit of a breaking ball that hangs right up there for Ryan Friel. Cal Eldred doesn't like it.
Big lead for Friel down at first. Eldred to the stretch. Here's Castro at the plate. A long hole by Eldred.
This year, if you're charting Eldred, he has given up 1 stolen base in 2 attempts. But overall in his career, he's never been known as a pitcher that has been all that adept at keeping a runner close at first.
Matheny 27%, 9 for 33 at throwing him out. Three-and-a-half step lead for Friel as Matheny peeks into the dugout for a throw over or a pitch out. Slap foul. 0-1. John Riedling, Phil Norton, each loosening in the bullpen for Cincinnati.
I ask you the same question up here with Juan Castro as we have with Ryan Friel. Scott Rolen now at third base, playing 4 steps behind the bat. Castro not nearly as quick down the line, but a mediocre bunt's a base hit. And you're guaranteed of staying out of a double play, and you bring Casey to the plate.
There's so much that enters into this equation right now. You saw Friel dive back in, and you saw the turf slip out from under him. Dirt's wet and clumpy. The grass is wet. That affects the offense and the defense here in the 10th inning. Runner not going, and that's wide. You know, the other part of all of this, Chris, and we don't know until we go downstairs afterwards, very often runners have had the green light, have been given the steal sign, but either they slip on their first step, they're uncomfortable, they don't get a good lead, they don't get a good jump. I mean, a steal sign can be on and the runner might not go for whatever reason.
Now, what you're looking at when Casey comes up is Ray King coming in the ball game anyway. So whether Friel steals second base or the Castro's able to get him over there or not, the next 2 left-handed hitters, Dunn and Casey, or Casey and Dunn in that order, are going to end up facing one of the tougher lefties in the league.
One and one. Slap foul again. It's 1-2. Ray King is up and loosened in the bullpen. He's just toweling off right now. He is ready.
I think the importance, you know, you don't usually see a sacrifice bunt or with 1 out, but the importance of bringing up your best hitter with runners in scoring position in extra innings just can't be overlooked. And that guy's sitting on deck right now.
You just don't want a double play, no matter what, in this situation.
Exactly.
Runner not going. That's low. 2-2. The Reds with 19 stolen bases. He's been caught only 5 times. Not going. Hit to center. Edmonds going back to the warning track. He'll haul it in. Freely gone all the way to second. Will retrace his steps back to first. Boy, Castro gave it a ride about 380 feet away to the warning track in right center. He had them on their feet, so it'll be Casey with Friel at first, and out comes Tony La Russa. Casey will face the left-hander King as La Russa makes his way out. He got a lot of this one, didn't he, Chris?
Well, you cannot hit a ball over his head unless it goes into the second row of seats without him catching it.
Here comes King, and while the pitching change takes place, he'll take time out for these messages. You're watching Reds baseball on Fox Sports Net.
There's only one name that boasts the brute strength of 600 foot-pounds of class-dominating torque. One brand, the fastest production pickup on Earth with a 500 horsepower engine. One truck with the legendary Hemi that out-hauls, out-tows, and outperforms the competition. Dodge Ram, the one truck with the speed, strength, and power to put all the other trucks in their place.
Want more? Get more at the Summer Sales Drive. Grab a Ram 1500 and $1,000 bonus cash for a combined cash allowance of $4,500.
You know that little red ball from way back when? Well, the lottery's bringing him back again. He's coming to town and he's bringing his friends. Just 7 little balls. That's where it begins. Now this is big news that's sure to please. Red ball's popping up a lot, you see, so there's more cash for you and me. All you gotta do is pick the right 3.
The Ohio Lottery's Red Ball is back. Now when you win, the Red Ball could win you more.
Yeah, Red Ball's back. You can really score. Play the pick 3 game that wins you more.
Did you know that Grippos has been Cincinnati's fun food company for 85 years? That's right. Angelo Grippo started it all back in 1919. And over the years, have we had fun? But one thing's remained the same, that great Grippo taste. From fresh, crisp, original potato and barbecue chips, cheese curls and pretzel rods, to their sweet Bermuda onion chips, Grippo's has it all. So when you've got a taste for something great, thank Angelo and go grab some Grippos.
Grippos is the fun food company.
Now we saw Steve Klein. He's one half of the 1-2 left-handed punch Tony La Russa has at his disposal. Klein in and out of the ball game, and now with a very tough part of the left-handed hitting lineup on the Reds coming up, Sean Casey and Adam Dunn. Here comes Ray King. 53 times this year with a sparkling 167 earning. He has given up a 1 homer on the year and held opponents to 195 batting average. So it doesn't get a whole lot tougher than this if you're Sean Casey or Adam Dunn.
You know, before a game, you take a look at statistics, and I don't think there are 2 pitchers in all of baseball that have had better success against Sean Casey than Klein and King. Casey 2 for 24 against Klein and 4 for 23 against King. So you know how tough the road is for Sean Casey, who's a career 300 hitter, and he knows what he's going to get. He's going to be pounded in by Klein and by King. That's strike 1, the fastball in, it's slam foul. Now the Cardinals do not overshift here. In fact, Renteria whistled to the dugout wanting to know where they wanted him to play. And he started to walk behind second. They moved him back to the shortstop side of the second base bag. So Casey's got a little room on the right side for one of the few times. That's a dribbler down to Pujols, and he'll take care of it. Well, the book on Casey for Klein and King has worked tonight. The potential winning run stranded on base. We're going to go 11 in Cincinnati, still tied at 5.
Looking for the hottest ticket in town? Think fast. Think Kentucky Speedway. Feel the power at over 200 miles per hour. Feel the excitement inches from the wall. Racing's fastest series, the 220-mile-per-hour IndyCar Series, Sunday, August 15th for the Belterra Casino Indy 300. Catch the side-by-side open-wheel Indy excitement at over 220 miles per hour. Get your tickets now at 888-652-RACE, online at KentuckySpeedway.com or at all Meijer stores. Kentucky Speedway. There's more in 04.
Attention all taste buds, this is your wake-up call. Introducing Arby's new Market Fresh Chicken Salad. It's a delicious twist on ordinary chicken salad with all white meat chicken, fresh diced apples, grapes, celery, and toasted pecans. And now you get to choose how you want it served, as a sandwich, in a wrap, or in a bowl, whichever way you prefer. Arby's new Market Fresh Chicken Salad. One great chicken salad, 3 ways to enjoy it.
Well, the Reds will go to the bullpen once again. It'll be Paul Wilson to start. He went 7 2/3. Todd Jones came in. Danny Graves pitched an inning, and here is Phil Norton, the left-hander out of the bullpen. There are a couple lefties down there, of course. Gabe White being the other one. Norton comes in because there are 2 lefties coming up with the next 3 batters. Jim Edmonds, Reggie Sanders, and John Mabry, the hitters scheduled to hit this inning.
So the lefty battle continues. We'll see if the Reds can duplicate what the Cardinal lefty duo has done. Defensively, everybody remains the same for Cincinnati. Castro at third, Lopez at short, Jimenez at second, Casey at first, Aru behind the plate, and Dunn, Friel, and Pena in the outfield. So here's number 51, Phil Norton, ready to go to work. They joined us late. Paul Wilson, Woody Williams started. Wilson 7 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, struck out 6 and walked 2. It's been a home run kind of night. Reds have hit 3, Cardinals have hit 3, tying the Great American Ballpark single game record for the 5th time of 6 homers in a game. And yeah, as usual, this guy's been a factor in the ball game. Jim Edmonds tonight, a double, his 28th of the year in the 2nd. That was part of a 2-hit sacrifice fly inning where the Cardinals got their first run. Then Edmonds hit a homer in the 6th to give the Cardinals a lead 4-3. Those home runs add to a total for Edmonds that adds up to 25 for the season and 19 in his career against Cincinnati. Way high. 43rd game for Phil Norton. And if you're wondering, against Edmonds, Jim's 0 for 1 against Phil Norton.
I guess Dave Miley, you know, since the All-Star break, Phil Norton has put together a nice little string together, about 5 games or so. Prior to that, though, he's had a lot of control problems. 20 bases on balls and about 39 innings. So Dave Miley hoping that Norton is up to being able to throw strikes.
Well, that's a leadoff walk here in the 11th.
Well, big difference for Phil Norton in the month of July than the month of May and June. 9 1/3 innings pitched overall, only a couple of runs, and that computes an earned run average of less than 2. And with Dave Miley moseying out to the mound right now, I don't think this is a pep talk. I think he's already made a motion to the bullpen.
Norton's out, Wagner's in, so his job was to get the lefty. He didn't do it. And with Reggie Sanders due up, here comes Ryan Wagner, the righty, coming in. While the pitching, rather it's Riedling. Riedling's coming in. JR's coming in. So while the pitching change takes place, we'll take time out for these messages. You're watching Reds baseball on FSN Ohio.
He fooled you with the Sox.
You're right.
Don't wait another minute for your John Deere. Just wait until next year to pay for it. Time is running out to get a John Deere and pay absolutely nothing until July 2005. That's zero money down, 0% interest, and zero payments until July 2005. So what are you waiting for? Hurry into your local John Deere dealer today, because a deal this good will be gone before you know it.
Even close up, hair color should look natural. That's why today's Just for Men with X-Gray Science targets only the gray hair, replacing it with subtle tones that match your own color. In 5 easy minutes, vitamin-enriched Just for Men rejuvenates hair, brings back a natural look. No matter how close up she gets. Just for Men with X-Gray Science, the Rejuvenator.
Getting ready for your new GMC?
Honey, it's time.
It's time for Summer Drive with incredible offers on a great selection of GMC trucks and SUVs. Lease a new Envoy 4x2 SLE for around $267 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. This is the time to upgrade to professional grade. Summer Drive, only at your tri-state GMC dealers.
Enter John Reeling 48 times for this right-hander, trying to get his earned run average back down, and he's been doing it over and 0-4 in save opportunities. But with Phil Norton walking the leadoff batter Jim Edmonds and a right-hander Reggie Sanders due up, Dave Miley goes with the percentages and brings in the right-hander hoping for a ground ball. Sanders 2 for 10 in their career matchups.
La Russa still has Molina and Taguchi available to pinch hit. We're here in the 11th. Nobody out, one on. Sanders at the plate. Reggie today. 2 strikeouts, a ground out, and a sacrifice fly back in the second that knocked in the first run for St. Louis. Sanders takes a look at Oquendo, who rolls through some signs for him. Earlier in his career, Edmonds more of a threat to steal. He's stolen 3, been caught twice. But don't put it past Tony La Russa to hit and run. More likely with Mabry than with Sanders. Sanders a better chance to strike out. You're going to do it with Reggie, be early in the count. Big swing. Reggie trying to put a jolt into one. Swings out of his shoes, and it's 1-1. Sanders 4 for 6 against Riedling in his career, and a homer. With a low 2-1. Right center field. Pena over at the warning track. He'll haul it in. Edmonds retreats to first to tag up, and there's one away. Oquendo gives out a whistle, and everybody takes a peek at him. So the wheels are turning right now. Here's Mabry, who drilled a double his last time up, his first hit of the evening. Edmonds down at first. Mabry, pretty good pinch hitter, so used to shortening his swing a little bit and just trying to get one through the infield, and a little more likely that La Russa might put something on here if he gets ahead in the count. And Matheny's on deck. Mabry 0 for 1 against Riedling in his career. Matheny 0 for 4 hitting behind him. And right now, at least, no one's tossing in the bullpen for Tom Hume and the Reds. That's foul the other way. No balls, 1 strike. Final, the Braves beat the Pirates 4-2 to cool off the Buccos a bit. Atlanta will at the very least hold on to first place. They won their 53rd game. They're now 8 games over 500 for a team that looked like they were going nowhere. Bobby Cox continues to do brilliant teams, and they're starting to play their kind of baseball second half of the season. Line over the head of Lopez, base hit. Soft liner that Felipe couldn't catch up with. The fact that he's playing at double play depth prevented him from getting to it. If he's at normal depth, he's got a shot, but at double play depth, 2 steps in,
If I didn't know better, I would think that John maybe tried to do this. It looks like he just tried to guide that ball out there, a little lob shot over the shortstop's head, and he finds some green grass, and a couple of Cardinals have reached. He couldn't have really done that on purpose, could he?
Ask him afterwards. Now here's a situation with 1 out. You don't want a double play. Matheny, pretty good ground ball hitter. You wouldn't be surprised if both runners were in motion here for Tony La Russa. Make something happen. Make the defense pressurize themselves. Matheny 1 for 4, single. That was an infield hit in the 9th. And so many things happen when you put runners in motion. You get fielders worrying about it, people out of position, and with a go-ahead run at second in extra innings, anything's a possibility. One-0. Womack on deck. Popped up. Pena trying to find it in the fog, calling for it. He's got it, and he drops it. They got to force it second, but nobody will be there. Oh, baby, bases are loaded on the error by Willie Mo Pena. Even with that, they still had a chance for a force at second, but Lopez couldn't get there in time.
Well, he was set up as a cutoff man to third. He wouldn't have been at second base anyway. You got to assume that
the only place he had a chance. Yep. So the bases are loaded. That means the Reds have to bring the infield in, and here comes the pest again, Womack. With 1 out, watch out. He'll slap at it, he'll bunt at it, you name it. He can find a way to get a run in. Be one of the top infield hit guys every year when he plays on a regular basis. And with the infield in, he's so dangerous. Edmonds off third. Wide.
Well, he'll take a walk, Tony Womack. Well, he's not the kind of guy up there who's going to be free swinging it. 28 base on balls and 39 strikeouts. So he's a guy with a pretty good clue of what needs to be done up here in this situation.
Either Rolen or Pujols are the MVPs of this club, but the unsung hero is this guy right here. Tony Womack. Line but foul. 2-1. Womack 1 for 3 against Riedling in their previous meetings. His lone at bat. Fielder's choice plate appearance. 0 for 1. go? Yes, he did. Hunter Wendelstedt said he went around, and it's 2-2. Great pitch, great spot by Riedling.
A nasty sinking fastball right there. 91 miles an hour. I can't imagine a John Riedling slider that much, but boy, that ball went down.
And a good dig by LaRue as that one was in the dirt, and Edmonds was 3 steps running towards the plate. So it's 2-2 now. Bloop to right, that'll get a run in. Here comes Pena, and they'll hold the runner at third. So the Cardinals will take the lead on the bloop hit by Womack. And again, that's another hit that comes with the infield in. If Jimenez is at normal position, that's a ball he may have a shot at. So the Cardinals here in inning 11 take a 6-5 lead.
Now, this is a Tony Womack hit. I mean, he's a guy that does this kind of stuff. That pitch was up. John Riedling down the entire at bat until he threw that ball right up there. He shook off Jason LaRue off a fastball to finally get to the breaking ball, and he hung it around the letters, and the breaking ball doesn't have as much speed on it, so you can get the bat head on it a little bit, and he got it just enough in there to get into some green area. And Tony Womack has been a Reds killer this year.
So Edmonds scampers home with the go-ahead run. And it's 6-5 St. Louis. Cardinals have taken 8 of 10 for the Reds and have gone ahead here in the 11th. Here's Taguchi, who will pinch hit. Taguchi pinch hitting in the top spot in the order, the pitcher spot. And you know what that means out in the Cardinal bullpen. Jason Isringhausen is starting to loosen. Up for the second time tonight. Taguchi on the season, .255. Bases still loaded, still only 1 out. Infield still in. That's looped to right. Here comes Pena. Over. He's got it. A run will score, though. The throw will come into the infield. Sacrifice fly by Taguchi. And the Cardinals now lead it 7-5.
This ball almost serious trouble. As it is, it brings a run in. Willie Mo Pena down the line makes a running catch on that ball, and that's an insurance run for the Cardinals. That's an adventure.
Willie Mo's arrow opened the gates, and the Cardinals have taken advantage. And here's Edgar Renteria. Renteria 0 for 5, reached on an error last time up. 2 away now, runners at first and third. Here goes the runner. No throw. That'll be a stolen base for Womack. So Womack picks up the steal. And runners are now at second and third. That's 15 for Tony Womack, sitting down at second. And you put runners in scoring position, and Renteria's eyes get bigger. Yep, base hit right field. 1 run scores. They'll send Womack. They got to throw at the plate, but Pena's throw is going to go against the cement behind home plate. We talked about the wetness of the ball on any ball hit into the outfield, and that one just flew out of Willie Mo's hand. I don't know that he would have had the runner at the plate anyways, but there was no chance for a play there. So 2 more runs score. It's now 9-5 St. Louis.
Now you got to figure that Willie Mo, after dropping that easy fly ball, is trying to do something and just uncorks it. And boy, they're heading to the parking lot like they're giving out bags of 20s.
So it'll go as a single. The runner goes to second base on the throw. No error charge to Pena. And I don't think they would have had the runner anyways with Womack's speed at second, but They might have had a shot, as it was the way the throw went. Well, one of those innings for the education process for the Reds right fielder Willie Mo Pena. You take the good with the bad, a homer tonight, and the era that opened the gates here in the 11th. Wow, way back, way far, but foul. That's up in the second deck, and it bounced off the facade of the corner.
That ball nearly out of the stadium to left field. That would have been unheard of.
Unheard of except for that guy. Anything he does is not unexpected. Albert gave that a long time ride, but foul. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Renteria at second. Chris, how many times have we seen Edgar Renteria come up with runners in scoring position and drill a base hit somewhere? Man.
Well, the Reds have held him all night long under control, and that was one of the reasons why they were still in the game. He's been such a Reds killer.
Lopez backhands, long throw, not in time. And it'll be first and third. Pujols gets his second hit. He homered in the 8th and walked in the 6th. Here's a base hit in the 11th.
Good play by Lopez. Gets to it, fires it, just not enough to get over there. Nice stretch by Casey. He does his best to pick it, but Pujols, who has battled some legs problems this year, boy, that guy runs hard and plays hard all the time. He's picked up a couple of infield hits against the Reds in the last series. Adds another one tonight.
Well, first and third for the Cardinals. Still 9-5 St. Louis. They put 4 on the board in the 11th. And here comes Scott Rolen, the 9th batter of the inning. Rolen doubled in the 2nd, homered in the 4th, and then bounced out 3 times. The inning started with a walk from Norton to Edmonds. Riedling came in, got 1 out on the fly ball, gave up a base hit. Pena's error loaded the bases. A base hit, a sacrifice, and then the base hit by Renteria.
Well, this game looked so promising after the first inning when the Reds put that 3 spot on the board against Woody Williams. Cardinals did the same type of action against the Reds during the last series when they were in here a couple weekends ago. The Reds jumped up to a 4-0 lead, and the Cardinals ended up coming back to win that ball game.
First and third, 2 away. That's a call, strike 3. Roland's retired, but the Cardinals do some business. The error by Pena opens the door. The base hits close it. 9-5 St. Louis. To the bottom of the 11th we go.
Totally NASCAR, the only source that puts the racing fan in tune with what's happening on and around the track. With expert analysis, racing insights, and the latest reports from the winner's circle, your all-access pass to everything that is NASCAR. Totally NASCAR. Weeknights on FSN.
A half hour before every Reds game, catch Real Reds on Fox Sports Net. It's in-depth interviews that'll take you way beyond the sports page, expert analysis from the press box, and you'll learn the keys to the game. A half hour before every Reds game, watch Real Reds, presented by Countrywide Home Loans, only on Fox Sports Net.
Now, when you buy 3 or more medium one-topping pizzas from Domino's, you get them for just $5 each. That means pepperoni guy, mushroom guy, and sausage guy can each get their own pizza for just $5. Hey, who invited I'll pay you tomorrow guy?
Big news from Domino's. It's the 5-5-5 deal. Call now and buy 3 or more medium one-topping pizzas and pay just $5 each. Get the door. It's the 5-5-5 deal from Domino's.
Don't wait another minute for your John Deere. Just wait until next year to pay for it. Time is running out to get a John Deere and pay absolutely nothing until July 2005. That's 0 money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments until July 2005. So what are you waiting for? Hurry into your local John Deere dealer today, because a deal this good will be gone before you know it.
Now the guy the Reds had hoped not to see tonight, especially when it comes to the 11th inning, protecting a 4-run lead. Nope, not a save situation for their Cardinal closer, Jason Isringhausen, even though he is 25 for 29 in that category. A nice 2.6 earning. He comes in with a big cushion.
So Isringhausen will deal with the number 4 hitter, Adam Dunn, D'Angelo Jimenez, and then Willie Mo Pena. Dunn tonight hit his 99th career homer to center, his 27th of the year, to tie the game at 4. That was in the 6th. Later in the inning, Willie Mo Pena homered his 16th to give the Reds a 5-4 lead. They led twice, 3-0 early, and then 5-4. Pujols homer tied it at 5 in the 8th, and the Cardinals put a 4 spot on the board here in the 11th. So long road back against an unlikely candidate to give up 4 runs in any inning, Jason Isringhausen. Lined left center. Over is Mabry. He loses it. This will roll all the way to the wall. And Dunn will be sitting on second. So the left fielder Mabry about belt high has it go past him.
Ball hit well by Adam Dunn. The ball slicing. It looks like a pretty easy play from Mabry. I think the ball, I'm not so sure that it was any of the atmospheric environment here that made him lose that, even though it is a little bit foggy. That ball was just slicing on him so hard, he just overran it.
Judging where he is and where the light stanchion is, that may have been a factor. In any event, the Reds have a runner on, and you can't score till you get somebody on. So here it is, nobody out, 1 on, and here's D'Angelo. Jimenez homered in the first to give the Reds an early 3-0 lead. A 2-run shot. It came after Casey's double. It made it 1-0. He's 1 for 4 on the night. Breaking ball drops in there. Jimenez 1 for 5 against Isringhausen. Zip, zip, zip. 1 away.
Now take another look at that last fastball in the inner part of the plate to D'Angelo Jimenez. 93-mile-an-hour heater for Jason Isringhausen. He didn't think it was a strike, too close to take.
See Willie Mo's number, 1 for 4 against Isringhausen, 0 for 4 in his career. 1-1. In the National League, Atlanta won over Pittsburgh 4-2. Florida has beaten Philadelphia 11-3. That's a final. So the Brave lead will be at least a game and a half tonight after Philadelphia loses and they win. In the 9th, Montreal leads the Mets 19-8. In the 9th, Arizona leads Houston 4-1. Chicago in the 8th leads Milwaukee 3-1. LA 7, Colorado 5 in the 5th, and San Francisco and San Diego scoreless in the 3rd. Skied to right. Here comes Sanders, long run. It's going to drop, fair ball. Pena stops as the ball goes into the stands. He'll be given second. Dunn will round second and score. So the Reds get a run out of it. Pena will be standing on second, and it's a 9-6 game with Lopez coming to the plate.
A
high slicing ball off the bat of Willie Moe. Fooled on the pitch. He's not really sure where the ball is. Where is it? Well, it's going down the first baseline. And yes, it's going to be fair. Pujols has got the best chance at it, and that's not a good chance. Got his back to the plate and just can't quite get to it.
So Pena's sitting on second, and here comes Felipe Lopez. Lopez 0 for 1, grounded out in his first plate appearance since being recalled today, grounded out to second. 0 for 2, 2 ground out for second. And there is your second out, and here comes Jason LaRue. Reds need another base runner to get the tying run to the plate. Valentin has moved into the on-deck circle with the pitcher spot. Riedling due up next. Infield back for the Cardinals with 2 away as Isringhausen will try to nail this one down.
Only 3 times in this season has Jason Isringhausen given up more than 1 run in an inning. And only once has he given up as many as 3, and that was way back in middle of April.
LaRue 0 for 5 against Isringhausen, and an 11-game hitting streak on the line. Tonight, struck out, walked, flied out, struck out. 2 starters long gone. Woody Williams 6 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. Paul Wilson 7 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs. Neither figures in this decision. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Isringhausen peers into Matheny. Pena off third. Down, down, down. That's where Matheny wants it. Right down the middle. Jason LaRue's 11-game hitting streak is over. The Reds' losing streak continues. After an 0-5 road trip, they lose the first game of a homestand. The Cardinals come up with 4 in the 11th, win it 9-6 in game 1 of this 3-game set. So, Chris, another story, similar refrain. Reds get an early lead, can't hold it.
Yeah, they stopped scoring runs. Their bullpen gave it up. Defense was not good late in the ball game, and it all adds up to a Cardinal victory. Boy, we've seen too many of those here.
The Redbirds win it. They have won